Hello and welcome to Talking Dogs TV. On this Saturday evening, more top-class racing to look forward to. Introductions a little bit later. As you're well aware, at this stage we get straight into the racing action. Tonight at Shelbourne Park we have the opening round heats of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. We also have, of course, the semi-finals of the Shelbourne Open 600, and at Limerick we have the quarter-finals of the Con and Annie Kirby Memorial. Some quality racing to look forward to, but let's get straight into it. Rob is in the commentary box here at Shelbourne Park. We have a cracking contest to start with, the opening heat of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks.
Yeah, thanks Ian. They're going straight to trap for our opening heat of the Shelbourne Open, some Puppy Oaks. Some illustrious names have won this in the past: Droopy's Twirl, Ballydoyle Honey, and of course Dalcash Davinsky. Not only did they all go on to win this competition, but of course they completed the double later in the year by winning the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. But an illustrious list of honour to this prestigious competition. Some excellent youngsters and exciting youngsters to look forward to over the opening 6 heats. And they are loading for our opening race, where Ballyback Mermaid and Mina Melody might be the two to concentrate on what we've seen so far. All in for our opening race here tonight at Shelbourne. And the hare running for the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks, 5-2-5, Heat 1, Round 1. In 1 is Magical Poppy, 2 is Ballymac Mermaid, 3 is Kildallan Pearl. In 4 is Glassmean Gem, 5 is Mina Melody, and 6 is Miss Clover. And away they go to level enough break on the inside. Magical Poppy showing good early, and is showing excellent early, just like she showed on Limerick on her debut, and she leads around the opening 2 bends. But Mina Melody is a big danger, already unbeaten in her run to date. Then we've got Miss Clover, and they've kicked on from the remainder. But Magical Poppy is bidding to make every yard in her opening heat, and she's doing it at the moment in pretty good style. Mina Melody's trying to catch up. Then we've got Miss Clover and Kildallan Pearl off from the back, but off the final bend. And Magical Poppy, this looks a fast time, and she's going to make every single yard and make it 2 out of 2 for Patrick Guilfoyle. It's a 3-way photo for second, but from early doors it was a 1 female race. It's been a day of females so far, and Magical Poppy has done it in 28.52.
Yes, indeed, a pretty emphatic way to kick off proceedings here tonight, with Magical Poppy win for Pat Guilfoyle and Donald Guilfoyle. This daughter of confident Rankin. Well, as you're about to see, flashing from the inside box and making every inch of the running, this lady. Of course, Pat Guilfoyle has won in Oaks in the past with Miss Firecracker, and who knows, this lady could be going on to great things in the future, because this was a display of real efficiency, real professionalism and real class. This is only her second career start, of course, winning in 28.69 at Limerick, but as you can see, she flashed from boxes. She built up a couple of length lead over Trap 5 Mina Melody, who ran very well for Michael Corr in second spot, but Trap 1 Magical Poppy racing all the way to the winning line. Very impressive, stretching on up the home straight, and wins in some style. She really is one to keep an eye on in the future. 28.52, did get close for second spot. Here we're going to see them once again. We'll look in behind. You'll see Trap 2 going up reasonably well, Ballymac Mermaid, but she gets distracted in the run up and just seemed to ease her stride at that point. 5 Mina Melody is running very strongly at second at this point. Just keep an eye on Trap 3 Kildallan Pearl. She's not even in the shot at present, and she actually, I think, may have just grabbed second spot. We're still waiting on the judge for that one. It's very close, obviously, but Trap 1 Magical Poppy, so much to like about this lady, and who knows, we could see this one going on to, well, much bigger things in the future. In second spot, perhaps just 3, Kildallan Pearl. She's one to keep an eye on. She flashed home. She won over further last time out. She clearly won with, well, distant trips in the future, perhaps going to be suiting her. But that's it for us for the moment from Shelbourne Park. Of course, as we said, we have a great night's racing to look forward to down at Limerick. We feature the quarterfinals, the Con and Annie Kirby Memorial. The Sean O'Connor is starting also tonight, so lots to look forward to. And as you can see, they're on parade for the opening race down there, so we'll go straight to Mal.
By Pat Curtin. And the final runner in the opener at Limerick for the Nash brothers of Drumbanna, County Limerick, Michael and Noel Nash, with Penny's the Cata.
Yeah, we did miss most of them on parade, but we'll touch on a couple of them in my eye-catcher slot. This is the Talking Dogs Online TV, A2525. The first we're going to take a look at is Tyrap Farage. This fellow, a big finisher. He's a July 18, so has a little bit of age about him. He's only won twice in his career, but he has enough in his car to suggest that he'll be thereabouts at the finish. But don't expect to see him going around in front. The next we're going to take a look at is Trap 4. Tallyho Tyson. Tallyho Tyson, owned by the Walls of Tallyho Syndicate, a son of Tallyho Lee and Crofty's Act. He's won 3 of his 6 starts, very young, in April 19, so just gone 2 years of age. Won well last time out in 29.06. Won't need to improve much to play a part in proceedings. And the last of the 3 we're going to take a real close eye on is Brindle Beauty, another strong runner, owned and trained by Pat Curtin, of course, a Derby winning handler himself. And this daughter of Droopy's Niche has 5 wins on her card. She's certainly one that could also play a part in proceedings. We didn't mention a couple with some decent lines of form on their card, but perhaps our man down in Limerick may just do that. Off to Joe.
Thanks a million, Ian, and welcome to Limerick Greyhound Stadium, folks. Well, the excitement has been building here all evening, and tensions are rising as we look forward to the Connan and Kirby Memorial quarter-finals, which takes place in just under an hour's time. The track is in immaculate condition, and the vibe is very, very good down in Limerick. And a very strong encounter, A2 encounter, to open proceedings here. As Ian mentioned, Tyra Farage for the Carrolls of Brewery. They're very, very shrewd people. They run a lot of dogs around Limerick. They know this track well, and this dog has been around here a bit, as a win in 28.87 around Shelbourne Park. Of course, as Mal said, and parade the Nash brothers of South Liberties, and we saw those famous South Liberties colours carried to victory in the Grand National today of green and yellow, with Manila Times, of course, for J.P. McManus. And the Nash brothers are very, very shrewd individuals as well. A 28.58 Shelbourne Park winner. A real touch of class about this trap 6, Penny's Becketa, and I expect her to be there or thereabouts at the business end of things. Tallyho Tyson, of course, trap 4 for the Walls of Rathkeil. Very, very shrewd greyhound people as well, and a winner in 29.06 on its last outing, so a very impressive performance there. Has a touch of early. Brindle Beauty, of course, trap 5 for the ever shrewd Pat Curtin. 21 starts, 5 wins, good strike rate. Of course, trap 1, Paddy Collins has Croker's Patsy, a 29.01 winner in Galway. And of course, Skillful Sparky for Dermot McCarthy of Kilmallock completes the field. I'm going for Penny's Becketa here for the Nash brothers, but it's a very open encounter. And over to you, Mel.
In traps for the opener, Croker's Patsy, Tyrap Farage, Skillful Sparky, Tallyho Tyson, Brindle Beauty and Penny's Becketa. Away in this 8-2, 5-5, Penny's Becketa breaks best of all in these stripes. Croker's Patsy is second. Onto the second. Maybe a 4 to 5 length lead down the back stretch. Tyrap Farage is second. Number 3, Skillful Sparky's in third. Heading towards the second bend from the finish, trap 6, Penny's Becketa, leading from Tyrap Farage as they hit the final bend. Stand side Limerick, 6 and 2. 6 goes on to score a fine win here. Penny's Becketa for the former Limerick hurling stars, Michael and Noel Nash. The winning time is 28.61.
Yeah, you heard Joe suggest that Penny's Becketa had a touch of class, and it was very evident in this contest, showing far more early speed than its rivals and cleared them into the bend. Trap 1 runs off the bend and allows Trap 2, Tyra Farage, into second spot. Just a momentary picture break up there, but 6, Penny's Becketa leading them down the far side. Trap 2, Tyra Farage, was always going to close the gap, but just couldn't quite get there. Penny's Becketa, in fairness to her, did stay on strongly up the home straight and wins well in 28.61. And I dare say, after winning 8-2s in 28.61 tonight in Limerick, well, we could see some very fast times later on when the real superstars in action. So, Joe, an impressive winner there. Trap 6, Penny's Becketa. You gave us the heads up. It won well.
Yes, thank you, Ian. 1 from 1 for the Limerick tipster, I suppose. Start as you mean to go on. As I said, Penny's Becketa for the Nash brothers are very, very shrewd greyhound people. They're proud greyhound people, of course, from the South Liberties Club. And bear in mind, later on, Deadly Destroyer runs for South Liberties Club and has a massive chance in this year's Connan and Kirby. Of course, this one, a winner in 28.61, had that touch of class. They ran her in the Christmas Oak, so it just shows that connections think an awful lot of her. And I'd imagine she's one who's going to have an exciting and bright year ahead of her. Trap 2, Tyra Farage, of course, for the Carrolls of Brewery, ran very, very well and ran with great credit, but of course it had an awful lot to do to catch Trap 6. Came home there in 12.28, so Penny's Becketa is definitely a bitch who's staying on strong all the way to the finish. 4.20 to the first bench. She ran very, very crafty, and an awful lot to look forward to there. 1 from 1 so far, and hopefully we can continue our winning bit of luck.
Good man, Joe. Well, it's just not Joe we have on track tonight. We're also having a new member of the team, and we'd like to introduce you to the main man, Barry Call, who is the newest member of the Talking Dogs TV team. You can see him down there. Championship haircut like Joe down in Limerick. Barry, it's great to have you on track. You're looking forward to tonight's action. Some great racing.
Yeah, I am indeed, Ian. Thanks a million for that introduction. It's there's nothing really I can do about the haircut. It's not by choice. It's the only haircut available to me. So we'll use it and run with it. Yeah, obviously I'm delighted to be here. It's a lovely evening, but as I say, it's not an evening to be sporting this new haircut. It's pretty chilly. I'm already doing the Ali shuffle down here trying to keep warm. But yeah, a couple of great heats to look forward to. An awful shame that Amazing Champ is out in the first heat. It's going to suit Beach Avenue down to the ground with the 5 Dog Affair, and then we've a great second semi-final as well with Billy Steve at Ballymac Wild and the young bitch Ballydale Rossa. So delighted to be here. Hopefully I can pick a winner or two out for you. Might be grabbing some people for a quick chat if time allows, and looking forward to the evening racing, Ian.
I never doubted you. We're looking forward to the rest of the evening. Going to make you busy now over the next few weeks. Have no doubt about that. You're our man on the ground. We need you to be picking up all the gossip. I'm not sure if you're going to quite do the same amount of singing or use the same type of phrasing as Joe down in Limerick. But listen, it's great to have a dub on board. We have a Lily White in the commentary box, and we have a Limerick man down in Limerick. Needless to say, so it is great to have a dub on board. Speaking of the Lily White, we'll be going to him in a moment because our next race here tonight is the second heat of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. A good race to look forward to. Again, I'm going to side with Trap 1, Burgess Cassie, the red-jacketed runner. This one did a 28.49 trial here at Shelbourne Park in recent days, a week ago. And, well, by all accounts, she looks a bright prospect. But so too do many of these. Rob, it's an interesting contest. They're about to go on parade.
Yeah, interesting indeed, Ian. And as you said, Burgess Cassie most definitely sets the standard. But we've got some well-bred youngsters here. Tip Top Taylor, half-sister to Run Happy. And she's got plenty of Shelbourne experience. But Greyhounds are parading for our second race of the night, the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks, round 1, heat 2. And the first on parade is the red-hot favourite Burgess Cassie for Sheila Spillane and JJ Fenley. She's won 1 from 4, but she's been fairly consistent in her 4 runs. And she got to the final of the Newbrush unraced on her most recent start. In 2 is Luna Babylon for Patrick Whelan and Laura Earl. 1 from 3 so far. That win came in Enniscorthy. She has had a look here at Shelbourne in the past, and know that that'll stand to her tonight. 3 is Susie Sapphire for Peter Comerford and Owen McKenna, also 1 from 3. She has also had a decent spin in a trial, 28.77, nothing wrong with that. 4, Maze Blackstone for May Alward and Declan Byrne, the most experienced in the lineup, 4 from 9. She's done her winning in Waterford and Clonmel, and she makes her Shelbourne Park debut this evening. 5 is the well-bred Tip Top Taylor for Paul Ryan. She's 2 from 7 so far. Both of those wins have come at Shelbourne Park. A half-sister to Run Happy, who of course got to the 2019 Irish Derby final, Leger final and Champion Stakes decider. And in 6 we've got the only wide seat, that's Tullymurray Olive for Eamon McGinn, trained by Damien McGinn. Also a winner so far, 1 from 4. That came at Dundalk, and she has posted a recent trial of 29 seconds here at Shelbourne. So it's our second race of the night, the second heat of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 5.25. And if you're getting involved, you have a couple of minutes to do so.
Yeah, some really talented types in this contest. We've already mentioned Trap 1, Burgess Cassie. She's the first we're going to lead with in the Eye Catchers. 28.49 in her latest trial, but she'd also shown promise in the Brownstown Tango and Newbridge Track Supporters Club Open and Race Bitch Stake, winning 28.77 in the second round. Badly balked in the third round, so she went out of that competition, but she's clearly a bright prospect. This one for Sheila Spillane and JJ Fenley. Next, we're going to take a look at Trap 3, Susie Sapphire, Owen McKenna, Peter Comerford. This daughter Droopy's Jet and Jetstream Links, well, her dam was a very talented lady. She had 28.66 here at Shelbourne Park. She won over 41. She did 41.45 at the 750 around Cork, and then was sold to the UK, where she was a top performer over there before coming back. And well, now this is one of her youngsters, and by all accounts she's shown a bit of promise. 28.77 in trial. And 4, Maze Blackstone, who was actually a finalist in the Painstown Kennels A1, A2, 550 here at Shelbourne Park not too long ago. She's a couple of very decent lines of form on a card round Clonmel, including a 28.81. Declan Byrne has some good firepower at his disposal at present. Barry, an interesting contest, lots to look forward to. We're going to go back down to you, and we're going to test your mettle. Joe's after giving us a winner. Can Barry?
Oh no, I'm under pressure straight away. Yeah, look, Ian, you mentioned the one bitch here, Burgess Cassie. She did run in that Brownstown Tango unraced stake down in Newbridge, as you say. There's a lot of bitches running in the next couple of races. We're going to be referencing that race. It seemed to be an above average stake, and she got to the third round. Flying trial here a couple of weeks ago, 28.49. Doesn't seem to be much in the way of early pace in this heat, and if she can come away in maybe a 2.15, 2.16 sectional, and clock 28.49, she will be hard to beat. All McKenna's bitching 3. Susie Sapphire, as you said, she's well bred. Looks like her future may lie over further at Dam, 1 over 6 bends. She won 16 or 17 races in the UK. Good win in an A3 here last week, 28.77. Does step up a little in grade, but as with pups, she might just get away with it. Blackstone May has already won 4 times this year, 2021, but she's 0 from 4 here at Shelbourne Park. And Tullymurray Olive was a good winner down in Dundalk. However, that was an A8 competition, and she will need to step up here, taking the jump up in grade. Of the others, Tip Top Taylor has a nice card at 31.50 win over 5.75 here recently. So I'm going to side with 1 and see can I level up with Joe.
Herring for the second race of the night, Heat 2 of the Shelbourne Puppy Auction. 1 Burgess Cassie and 2 is Luna Babylon. 3 is Susie Sapphire, 4 is Maze Blackstone, 5 is Tip Top Taylor and 6 is Tullymurray Olive. And it's a level enough break. Burgess Cassie showing good early on the inside, and she's going to lead from Tullymurray Olive just about into the opening 2 bends. So it's Burgess Cassie who leads off the second bend. Little traffic trouble for Tip Top Taylor in behind, and at this stage Burgess Cassie is getting into full swing, and she's opened up a 4-length gap over Susie Sapphire, who's moved into second. From the back, Luna Babylon is staying on, but just like her opening heat, this is a 1-female affair, because off the final bend Burgess Cassie is going to rout them, and she's going to rout them in excellent style. Second is 2 Luna Babylon. It looks as though possibly 6 Tullymurray Olive has finished third, close for third, but it's the fastest of the 2 heats so far, because Burgess Cassie has done it in 28.33.
Well, this was pretty much over from the opening yards. We knew she was a strong running lady, so when she hit the lids like that and went round in front, well, there was no stopping her. Trap 6 and second in the early yards, Tullymurray Olive. Keep an eye on trap 3, Susie Sapphire. She did show a bit of promise in defeat, but it was all about trap 1, Burgess Cassie. This lady stretching on down to the third bend. She's gone on by 5 lengths around the bottom 2 bends, and she's just maintaining a stride all the while. Look at trap 2, Luna Babylon. She had shown a bit of promise down in Enniscorthy in the future champion Michael Fortune Memorial, running on very strongly for second spot. Luna Babylon, real eye-catching run from her, but Burgess Cassie really was in a league of her own. Very, very impressive indeed. Rob, a lot to like about that lady. If she continues to do this, she'll be a big player in the competition.
Yeah, Carbon Copy to her opening semi-final. Magical Poppy, it was nearly for paw, but she's obviously posted a slightly quicker time. But as you said, we'd seen her form from Newbridge, and we're going to see plenty of that Newbridge form over the next hour or so. But once she led around the opening 2 bends, it was a case of how far. Eye catchers in behind. You've mentioned Luna Babylon. She's most definitely done really well from halfway. But already, I'd say we're talking about Magical Poppy and Burgess Cassie being the 2 to beat in the final, because posting times like that tonight isn't easily done.
Rob getting well ahead of himself there, as you can see. As you can see here from my screen, Barking Buzz is running with us all here this evening, so make sure you get involved. Some real good guarantees in the trios particularly, and of course we have the jackpots. But straight to Mal, because the Sean O'Connor Cup is about to start at Limerick. Well, it seems Mal is just having a cup of tea at present. In 1, Troopy's Fittest for Robert Gleeson, a very strong running tracker, win well in the opening round of Kirby. 2, Navy Blue for Graham Holland, and the 13 in Me Syndicate, son of Superior Product. In 3, Scalo Mara, good early speed for Joe Brazel. 4, Barney's Road, lightly race type, got a bit lost in himself in the opening round of Kirby. This was only his second start, one to watch for Pat Buckley, Pat McGilligan. 4, Jacob Taschenleck, tremendous early speed. He ran off the corner last time out, so trap 5 draw might be too bad for Neil O'Connell. And out the 6, Appreciated, owned and trained by Brendan Matthews. And this fellow, a very impressive win over 5.75 yards at Shelbourne Park last time out. We're going to take a look at the 3 to follow. And first up, it's no surprise that Droopy's Fittest is the first of them. This fellow most impressive in the opening round of the Kirby Memorial, winning in 28.35. He'd been one of the stars in the rural Hawaii. It stood on race down at Clonmel. Badly balked in the early yards last time out in the Kirby when Scarty Yank moved across the track and, well, really gave nothing on his outside, any chance of a bit of room, and Droopy's Fittest was one of the casualties, but he's a leading fancy. He'd be very, very short price to win if there were bookmakers on track. Next, we're going to take a look at 5, Jacob Taschenlek, a dog with blistering early speed. He too ran well in the Juvenile Classic, actually, at Tralee, reaching the final. He was out of luck in the final, missed the kick and didn't really get involved, but he can motor into the opening turn. Don't be surprised if he's prominent in the early yards. And Out in 6 is Appreciated, who did actually run well at Limerick on March 20th, out of luck in the opening round of the Kirby, but has since come to Shelbourne Park and won a 575-yard contest in fine style, clocking a very quick 31.07. He's well housed as the sole wide seed, and if he gets a clear run in the early yards, well, he won't be far away. Joe, it's a cracking contest to kick off proceedings. I haven't mentioned the likes of Scala O'Mara, who's sure to be blazing a trail to the corner. What's your fancy?
Ian, exactly as you said, I was looking through this heat a couple of hours ago, and I was just thinking, this heat is not only good, probably has the quality good enough to be a Kirby quarterfinal, but even a Kirby semi-final. Look at it, Droopy's Fittest, winner 28.35. We know what Robert Gleeson thinks of him. We had him interviewing him here a number of weeks ago. He thinks so much of this dog. As you said, a shade unlucky last week not to make it through, but I'm sure he's out to make amends. And look at the early pace that's in this race. Droopy's Fittest, the 4.19 down to the bend in his 28.35 victory. That is fair moving into the first corner. Just as we're talking about early pace, look at Scala O'Mara for Joe Brazel, of course local to the track. He'll be going all out to win this one. He has splits like 4.16 done to the opening corner, probably not staying as strongly as you would like, but still, when a dog has that much early pace, you're given every chance. And look at Jacob Taschenlek, who really lit up the track in Tralee with his early pace during the Juvenile Classic. He has splits like 4.17 done, and of course trained by Neelis O'Connell, who was Derby's Delight, running in the Con Kirby quarter-finals later on. Of course, one of the fancies for that one at around 33-1. It's a very, very wide open contest. Look at Navy Blue in Trap 2, owned by a big syndicate of, well, I'd imagine 14 people, the 13 and Me syndicate by Graham Holland. 28.46 win on his car. Barney's Road for Patrick McGilligan and trained by Pat Buckley. Well, we know Pat Buckley thinks an awful lot of Barney's Road. This dog exchanged hands after doing a very, very fast trial in Tralee when owned by Joe Keane of Kilkee. Was very, very impressive. Cramped up in the opening round of the Kirby, but I'm sure he's been schooled well since by Team Buckley and expect him to be there or thereabouts. He has an awful lot of early pace to contend with though, so may need to do it from the rear. And look at Appreciated for Team Matthews. A scintillating run last week in 31.07 for the 5.75 distance. It was a brilliant run, and obviously Team Matthews is in great run of form at the moment. So it's a very, very wide open contest, but I'm sticking with Droopy's Fittest to go from 2 and going for the juggler. Over to you, Mel.
Well, it seems the runners in traps for this opening heat of the Sean O'Connor Cup. Just technical difficulties. I'll be doing the comms for the moment. And away they go. Good start by Trap 3. Scala O'Mara leads into the turn, but challenged immediately by Jacob Taschenlek. Back in third spot, 2. Navy Blue, 1 on the inside. Droopy's Fittest with work to do, and out the back is Appreciated. 4. Barney's Road improves between runners, but out front, Scala O'Mara and Jacob Taschenlek, the 2 speed merchants, into the third bend. Jacob Taschenlek now showing in front. Here comes 1. Droopy's Fittest staying tight to the fence to move second, but it is 5. Jacob Taschenlek into the home straight, on by 3 lengths. 1. Droopy's Fittest launching a late challenge to the line. It's going to be tight, you know. 5. Jacob Taschenlek may have just got there from 1. Droopy's Fittest. It was about the early speed early, but Droopy's Fittest flying home with the closing yards, and well, it's desperately tight on the line. 28.59 off 16.20 to the third bend. We'll leave it to the judge, but I'd say Trap 5 Jacob Taschenlek is the winner. Well, as you can see from the start, it was all about the early speed of Scala O'Mara, and 5 Jacob Taschenlek recovering from a moderate enough start and challenging on the outside of Trap 3 Scala O'Mara. Just keep an eye on Droopy's Fittest in 5th spot at this point now, just about a challenge for 4th, passing Barney's Road and up the inside of 2 Navy Blue. Never moves off the fence. That's him, one of the tightest railers in the country. He moves second at this point. Jacob Taschenlek at this point has already mastered Trap 3 Scala O'Mara. Up to the line, Trap 5 Jacob Taschenlek is digging in. May have just got there from 1 Droopy's Fittest. I wonder, can Joe confirm?
Well, Ian, you and I have had a few differences on the photo finishes before, so like last week, I'm afraid to take you on. I probably think that 5, I would say, probably got up, but it was ever so close. Droopy's Fittest, when he won in 28.35 a few weeks ago, he came home from the third bend home in 12.18. That's a very, very strong split coming home, so it's no surprise to see how strongly he finished. Jacob Tashadiluk, as we said, lit up Tralee throughout the Juvenile Classic with his early pace, and even got to the final where Sing Along Sally won, who runs later on. It was ever so close, and the result is just in 5-1-2. Jacob Tashadiluk, your winner for Neelis O'Connell. Neelis O'Connell is a trainer in tremendous form as of late, and he has runners all around the country in Tralee, Shelbourne Park and Limerick tonight, and he's represented by, of course, Pat Griffin, who we had on interview last week after Derby's Delight victory. But it's a really, really good victory from Jacob Tashadiluk, and a very, very eye-catching run from Droopy's Fittest. Didn't have it all his own way, but ran on with enormous credit. And Navy Blue, of course, for Graham Holland, who ran on exceptionally well as well. Oh, back to you, Ian.
Come on, Joe. Plenty of chat tonight, out of you. I've noticed that. He's in flying form. Listen, there's a long night ahead. Take a breath, Joe. We'll move on. The next race here tonight at Shelbourne Park, Heat 3 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. And, well, we've seen 2 brilliant performances thus far. I'm going to go over to Rob because, Rob, lots to look forward to here tonight at Shelbourne Park, not just in the Puppy Oaks, but, of course, we have the Open 600 to look forward to. Great night's racing.
Yeah, 2 mouth-watering semi-finals, as you said. We've got, in the second semi-final, we've got the 1-2-3 of last week when Billy's Diva beat Ballymacrossa, and the greyhound that escapes my name at the moment. And obviously in the first semi-final you got Paul Hennessy's 2. Obviously Trap 6 is now vacant, so you've got Beach Avenue on the outside of Paul's other runner, Priceless Jet. And you just wonder in the early stages, great names, that's in 3, and you just wonder in the early stages what's going to happen, because Beach Avenue did move it a little bit in last week. Obviously early pace is going to be key in that. You've got Razzle Dazzle Peaky in 2. Just 2 fascinating semi-finals. I think if you could hand-pick them, you probably couldn't have drawn them any better. You know, it's if we get the dream final of the 3 favourites in the first 2 semi-finals, or in the 2 semi-finals going through, I think we're in for a whopper next week. There's no doubt about that. But greyhounds are coming on parade for our third race of the night. It's the third heat of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 5-2-5. We've seen 2 scintillating performances so far. First on parade is New Win Lisa for Simon Taylor and Graham Holland. Graham having won 3 of the last 10 Puppy Oaks, and of course this New Win Lisa, half sister to New Win Session, Clona Blaze, Doolin Duke and New Win Hero. In 2 we have got Ballymac Biscuit for Liam Dowling, a winner of 1 from her 4 stars. She's a daughter of the great Ballymac Matt, and she's very worthy of her lineup here. She's got a couple of runs in Shelbourne already to her name. In 3, we've got 20 Little Toes for the Don't Be Late Syndicate, trained by Kevin Marmin. She comes here on the back of 2 really good performances at Galway. She made most on those 2 occasions, so expect to see her early. That's 3, 20 Little Toes. 4 is Rocklen Swift, this one making her debut, and she's making her debut in fairly competitive fashion. She's owned by John Guiney. She's a daughter of Droopy Sydney and Swift Madeira. She has posted 28.78 here at Shelbourne. Of course, she's trained by Peter Cronin, who won the 2019 Puppy Oaks with Crack Lady. 5 is Ballygloss Holly for Patrick McGilligan, trained by Pat Buckley. 3 from 11, this daughter of Skywalker Farlow, and she'll be doing her best work from halfway, so if she's on the premises, watch out for her. And 6 is Front Armani for Kevin Proctor, trained by last year's winning Shelbourne Oaks Puppy Oaks Derby. That's Robert Gleeson. Of course, Droopy's Curio was the heroine 12 months ago. And this lady's not bad either. She's a daughter of Sonic. She's won 3 from 8 so far, and she was pretty, well, when I say pretty emphatic, she was unbelievably impressive when making all in 28.11 here on her most recent start. A reproduction of that, and we could be in for something special. So it's our third race, Heat 3 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 5-2-5, and already the standard has been better than average.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're going to take a look at my 3 eye catchers here. First up in red, New Win Lisa. This one, daughter of Law Hill Blake and Coolavani Pearl. She's a half-sister to the likes of New Win Session, Doolin Duke, Clona Sky and Clona Blaze. She's all about early speed. She'll race up the inside. She's not the stoutest of stairs, but she's certain to race prominently. Trap 3 is 20 Little Toes. This lady has 5 starts in Galway, just the 1 start here at Shelbourne Park. She's some very impressive Galway form, most notably in her last start, 28.83, 28.63 calculated. Her mother actually won a race here at Shelbourne Park in January, believe it or not. So it'd be wouldn't be surprised if they did meet in a race sometime in the future. In front of Manny, this lady took off last week, 28-11 in victory. Sensational display by her. She's the dam half-sister to the likes of Rural Hawaii, the Derby winner, of course, and the dam was also third herself in the Puppy Oaks in 2018 behind Boom Time. 3 cracking bitches to look forward to, but they're facing some talented rivals themselves. Barry, brief thoughts on this one. What do you think?
Ian, obviously you've mentioned Front of Manny there, 28-11 here last week, second fastest time of the year so far in Shelbourne Park. But I'd also like to give a mention to Trap 3, 20 Little Toes. Won her last 2 in Galway, and on both occasions at times have been fastest times of the night. So she can come away well, and she's not without a chance at a decent price. But still, 6 is the one for me.
Yeah, good man, Barry. I think we can all it's hard to look past that 28-11. Just be warned, folks, that she not guaranteed to lead around the corner like she did last week. Certainly with New Win Lisa in the lineup, she won't be leading around the bend as far as I'm concerned. Reminder that Barking Buzz is working all night, and for these heats of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks, they will be guaranteeing the trio pool in each of them to a minimum of €200. And I do say minimum because it could well go sailing past that mark, to be honest. It's a conservative enough estimate. I would say that it will go sailing past that €200. So well worth your while getting involved in the trio. And if you are doing the trio, I always say, stick in an outsider or two. You never know your luck. You could be going home. Well, you could be staying home a winner. Anyway, this third race here tonight at Shelbourne Park, Heat 3 of the Puppy Oaks. They are on their way to traps. Rob, last thoughts?
Yeah, obviously it's very hard to get away from the favourite, but as you said, Ian, when you have got short price favourites, these are the races that you put in something as a selection to finish second and try and get a bit of value. So you look at Front Armani, should win, and maybe stick in New and Lisa for the forecast, and you might get a bit of better value. But they are loading for our third race of the night, the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 525, Heat 3, and more high profile youngsters are taking to traps. They're all in. And the hair running for our third race of the night. And 1 New in Lisa, 2 is Ballymac Biscuit, in 3 is 20 Little Toes, 4 is Rockglen Swift making their debut, 5 is Ballygloss Holly, and 6 is Front Amani. And away to go. Front of Manny's away okay, as is Ballymac Biscuit on the inside. Front of Manny getting into gear now. Can she get round in front? There's a little bit of traffic problems, and New and Lisa takes advantage off the second bend, and she's kicked for home. She leads by 3 lengths over Ballymac Biscuit. Then we've got 3 20 Little Toes. Front of Manny is absolutely flying, and she moves into third, but into the third bend, and it's New and Lisa on the outside. Ballymac Biscuit, and Front of Manny is still staying on. Off the final bend, she gets the split. Front of Manny, Ballymac Biscuit, but Front of Manny, how has she won that? She's come from nearly last to finish. She's a top class prospect, and she's made it a very, very impressive win. She's done it in 28.60, but that only tells half the story.
Yeah, just before they actually did break, there was bad charging. From my vantage point here, you could really hear them hitting the lids. So it did affect the start. 1 New and Lisa missed a kick. She showed devastating early speed into the opening corner, as you're about to see. Front of Manny did go up reasonably well, but she did lose her pitch around the opening 2 bends. She's not blessed with massive early speed, although she did show good acceleration to challenge on the outside there, but now loses her pitch. But even off the second bend, you knew she was going to play a big part in proceedings, because it was 2 she was chasing, not 1. New and Lisa is a short runner, and by this point you knew something was going to pick her up. It looked like Ballymac Biscuit at first, but Front of Manny is very strong. Ballymac Biscuit hits the front, but she swings off the final turn here, and all of a sudden track opens up for Front of Manny. She charges up the middle of the track, wins well. Second is 2 Ballymac Biscuit, and 4 Rockglen Swift on her racing debut for Peter Cronin, an impressive winner. New and Lisa unfortunately finishing back in 4th spot. A lot to like about the winner, a lot to like about the second, and indeed the third is one to keep an eye on. Well, we're going to look ahead now to the next contest at Limerick. Of course, it's the second heat of the Sean O'Connor Cup. We're after seeing a tremendous winner in the form of Jacob Tashadlek, opening his account last time out. Joe, very quickly before they go on parade, anything here that catches your eye? Obviously, Romeo Magico is tricky draw in 3.
Well, Paul Cooney is a genius tipster, and he's gone with Viper's Buzz here for Kieran Dix of Drogheda. He only has 3 dogs in his kennel, but of course they're getting the utmost attention. He ran so well the first night and defeated Droopy's Fitness. Things didn't go well last week, but I reckon Viper's Buzz could be in with a big run here tonight.
Run spot him. His runner for Gary Hannon. This brings us on to the round 1 Kirby winner for Graham Holland, Romeo McGeeko. Next up we have Viper's Buzz, owned and trained in Drogheda, County Louth by Kieran Hicks. Up the road from Tralee in Kerry comes Noel O'Leary as he trains trap 5, Lower Run. And number 6, it's Those Days Are Gone for the legendary trainer Brendan Matthews.
Yeah, we'll take a look at our 3 against the field here. Trap 1, Adam and Best, the first we're going to take a look at. Not the stoutest of stairs, but he has tremendous early speed. A 28.70 winner around Limerick in the past. I think he might edge off from Trap 1. He did so in his start prior to the Kirby when holding up the likes of Bombardier into the bend. So he's a classy type to certainly the third bend, and he's likely to play a big part in the early yards. Next we're going to take a look at his Romeo Magico, this lightly raced son of Magical Bale, a brother to Fabulous Azura, who of course will be in action in the Kirby later on. Brilliant winner in the opening round of the Kirby in 28.40. Got crowded early last time out in that race where Droopy's Fittest also found crowding. He's a very fast greyhound. He'll need to improve his trapping perhaps, but just if he did, well, this fellow could go very quick indeed. And the next we're going to take a look at is Viper's Buzz. This fellow a real eye catcher in the opening round when chasing home the aforementioned Droopy's Fittest. His starting is the issue. He's a little bit inconsistent at the boxes, but if he did come away on terms, he'd be a big player for Kieran Hicks. A lot to like about this fellow. Just to mention the rest there: Deadly Tornado in Trap 2, Lower Ron and Trap 6, Those Days Are Gone. All very capable on their night, but they will need a little bit of luck in running. A great night to look forward to, of course, both at Limerick and Shelbourne Park. And a reminder that Barking Buzz is racing all night. We'll have guarantees and trios, and also both tracks have a Pick 4 jackpot, which operates over races 4, 5, 6 and 7. And tonight the guarantee in both jackpots is €600. Let's go to the main man down in Limerick, our Limerick Lothario, Joe Sheehan. Joe, what's your thoughts on Heat 2 of the Sean O'Connor Cup?
I think it's a very, very strong heat here, Heat 2, and let's take him from top to bottom. Trap 1, Adam and Best. The early pace he has shown in the last number of weeks has been absolutely phenomenal. Doing about 4.12 to the bend. Very, very few greyhounds are capable of that kind of run in Limerick. So things didn't go well for him out of the boxes last week. But John Rainsford is a very, very shrewd trainer, and I'm sure he has Adam and Best freshened up and ready to rock tonight. At 8-1 to win the heat, he might be worth a bit of a sprinkle. Deadly Tornado course for Gary Hannon and great trainer Carl Ramsbottom. Well, Carl thinks an awful lot of this fellow, and of course for Gary Hannon, another great supporter of the game. Things really didn't go that well for him. He kind of had his chance last week, but clocked about 28.70, but I have a feeling there's a lot more to come from him. Romeo Magico, of course, who won the opening round in the Conan and Kirby in 28.40, was so impressive. Viper's Buzz, as I mentioned already, for Kieran Hicks, was very impressive in his first round in Limerick behind Droopy's Fittest, and that was his first look around Limerick, so I expect more to come from him. Lower on, of course, from Noel O'Leary, had 2 very, very nice wins in Tralee, so earned his place here as well. And Those Days Are Gone, of course, for Team Matthews. I really fancy this dog to do the business last week. Things didn't quite go his way. A very, very strong running type. Had a bit of trouble in the week previous, but ran super well, so I'd expect him to be there or thereabouts. If I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Viper's Buzz and Romeo Magico to be there or thereabouts as well for Dermot Firmiger. Over to you, Mal.
Green flag raised. 1 Adam and Best, 2 Deadly Tornado, 3 Romeo Magico, 4 is Viper's Buzz, 5 Lower Run, 6 Those Days Are Gone. We're weighing each 2 of the Sean O'Connor Cup. Romeo Magico leads early on in the white jacket. Deadly Tornado is in second. Adam and Best going well. 4 will qualify for the next stage, the semi-finals. Is 3 with a decent lead. Romeo Magico from the kennels of Graham Holland with a decent advantage, swinging the closing couple of turns. Adam and Best is second. Deadly Tornado is in third. We're off the final bend. Easily qualifying will be Trap 3, also in 1 and 6. Adam and Best, and Those Days Are Gone. The winning time here is 28.18. Very good run.
Yes, well, I think my parting words to Joe are something along the lines of Romeo Magico needs to improve his starting, and this is exactly what he did. He is a real prospect. When he hit the lids, it was over from 5 yards in. Once he cleared that bend, he was only going to go further and further clear. He really is a lovely mover, a real strong running greyhound, weighing in at 79 pounds. You see him down to the third bend. He's just majestic out front. It's all getting a bit tight and messy in behind at that third bend. But trap 3, Romeo Magico, is just in a league of his own at this point, and he's going further and further clear. And it looks like David Firmager and Graham Holland have one they can really go to war with. Adam and Best running well in second spot. Those days are gone, as you'd expect, finishing very strongly in third. But Joe, I dare say you were mighty impressed with Romeo Magico, because I can say I was.
Yeah, look at the clock, 28-18. If Romeo Magico had taken place in the quarter-finals tonight, who knows what that dog could have done. Was so impressive. Before the Conor Kirby, there was a massive market move on him from 100s into, I think it was around about 33s, after he'd done a very, very good sprint trial in Tralee. So we always knew that this dog was so talented. Look at the clock he did to the third bend, 15.92. Absolutely astounding. So fast. Came home in a strong 12.26. As you said, once the traps opened and he came out like he did, the race was over in a matter of strides. Was so impressive. Very credible mention to Adam and Best for John Rainsford in second, who is staying a bit stronger and stayed very well tonight, considering in other races he had been a small bit swallowed up, and those days are gone for Team Matthews, of course, who ran on very well. Likes Limerick, and it just needs to improve a bit probably on his trapping and early pace. But yes, the second heat of the Sean O'Connor Cup was all about trap 3 Romeo Magico, 28-18. So impressive.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're looking ahead now to Heat 4 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. We don't have long because they are just making their way onto the parade area. But just let you know, Trap 4 is a non-runner here. Reserve G on the race card, and that is Infield Jasper will race from Trap 4. A cracking-looking contest to look forward to again. Ballyhimmock and Pip, who was one of the stars of the Brownstown Tango Stake down at Newbridge, is in Trap 6. Rob, they're going on parade.
Yes, indeed, they are on parade for our fourth race, Heat 4 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 5-2-5. You've seen 3 really good heat winners so far, no doubt. We'll see something similar in our fourth heat. First on parade is Outback Becky, trap 1 for Don Hayes, trained by Frank Courtney. She's unbeaten in her only start today. She came from off the pace to win here at Shelbourne in 29.08. She's a daughter of the Derby winner, Log Hill Blake. 2 is Sooty Centurion for Patrick Tierney, trained by Sean Conway. 2 from 4 so far, a winner at Newbridge and Shelbourne in the past. 3 is Killpipe Blue for William Codd, trained by Graham Holland. He's won 3 of the last 10 Shelbourne Puppy Oaks, and of course this is a half-sister to Ballymacpelly, who was runner-up in the 2018 Lee Strand. 4 is the reserve, and that reserve is Infield Jasper for Barry Clancy and Aaron Downey. 1 from 6 so far for this daughter of the English Derby winner JT Jet and Highview Record. In 5, we've got Galadriel for Paul Reid and Paul Horrick, trained by Declan Byrne. No luck in 2 starts today, but she's a full sister to Swords Maestro and Jack's Little Thing. And in 6, the greyhound to beat, no doubt, is Ballyhimmock and Pip for Billy Dunn and John Dunn. She's 2 from 4. Very unlucky when following home her litter sister, Good Diva, in the Newbridge unraced, and if she can get a clear run, she'll take plenty of bidding. She's a daughter of Bell's Erection and JT Sahara, and that means she's a half-sister to the great Billy Diva, who we'll see later in the Shelbourne Open 600. Another intriguing heat to the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 5-2-5, and you've a couple of minutes if you fancy getting involved.
Yeah, indeed. We're going to take a look at our right catchers. The first we're going to take a look at is Trap 3, Killpipe Blue. Graham Holland for William Codd. This daughter of Dribby Sydney and Vic Raz has shown plenty of promise. She was beaten a long way last time out by Ballymac Fair One, but she did show plenty of pace in defeat. She remains a maiden, but she's shown enough to suggest that she'll be losing that maiden tag very short indeed. The next one we're going to go to, we're only going to show you Trap 6, Ballyhimmock and Pip, because 4 is a non-runner. Ballyhimmock and Pip, this lady was a finalist, as we said, in the Brownstown Tango Newbridge Track Supporters unraced down at Newbridge, finishing second in that stake. She does a lot of racing from the second bend home. She's very strong, and just wouldn't be surprised if the dimensions of Shelbourne Park were to suit her, and it'd be no surprise to me if she went up a bit closer to the pace than she has done in Newbridge. As Robert alluded to, she is a half-sister to the great Billy Diva. Barry, a good little race to look forward to, but by all accounts, Trap 6 Ballyhimmick Pip is probably the one to beat. Don't forget, those of you watching at home, you can get involved on Barking Buzz. But Barry, it's time to add to your tipster prowess. What do you fancy?
Yeah, obviously it looks between 3 and 6, as you say. Both of them made the final of the unraced stake in Newbridge, but I think a chance could be taken on Galadriel in Trap 5. 2:37 sectional last week doesn't really tell the story. She completely missed a break, but she had qualified in 17:67 in Newbridge, which shows she does have a fair bit of early pace. So at a price, maybe Galadriel could be the one here. About a 5 or 6 to 1 chance earlier on today. Probably would have changed with Ballycown Lexi coming out, but still she should be a decent bit of value and could be one for forecasts and trios on the tote.
Yes, indeed. Barry giving a chance to Galadriel. Yeah, no question about it. She's very well bred. I'm sure she caught your eye too, Rob. It is a good contest, but at the same time, they're probably not standing out in this one like they have been in previous heats.
No, you've touched on it as well. Ballyhimmick Pip, she obviously showed really good form in Newbridge. Unlucky to just not get things her own way when she ran in that Newbridge race final. You'd have thought, though, there's not massive early in the race, and you'd have thought if she can come away half decent, get a clear run around the opening 2 bends, as you said, she'll be powering on from the second bend, and it'd be a surprise if she got a clear run and she didn't win. As Barry alluded to, this is a race, we've had 3 winning favourites so far. This is a race, if you want the favourite to win, you look at a bit of value. Maybe do Ballyhimmick Pip with the field and the trio, or pick out an outsider, as Barry said, Galadriel or one at a bigger price. But if you want to back the favourite, just put her in a forecast or a trio, because I think if you want to get value, although she's 9 to 4 in the tote, so maybe she's a bit bigger than we thought. But they are starting to load for our 4th heat of the night, the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 525. 3 winning favourites so far, and we're about to find out if it's going to be 4 on the trot. Remember, reserve Infield Jasper runs in Trot 4. That's reserve G in place of Ballycown Lexi. But looks like they're nearly all in. Last couple going in for race 4. If you're getting involved in Barking Buzz, your last chance to do so.
Yeah, I was going to ask Rob, did he know who Galadriel was? I just Googled it, and it's completely something different that I thought it was. I thought it was the cast in the Smurfs, but seemingly it's someone from Tolkien's Middle Earth.
Yeah, I was going to say a football player. Right, they're all in for our 4th race, heat 4 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 525. And 1, Outback Becky. 2, Sooty Centurion. 3, Killpipe Blue. 4, Infield Jasper. 5 is Galadriel. And 6 is Ballyhimmick Pip. And away they go, and it's 2 in the early stages. Sooty Centurion who leads. The favourite Ballyhimmick Pip just slowly into stride. She'll need a little bit of luck from here, because she's currently trailing off the second bend. And this is where 4, that's Infield Jasper, is challenging Sooty Centurion. Look at Ballyhimmick Pip. She's flying up the inside, and she's about to move into third, but she's still a lot of work to do. 4, Infield Jasper kicks on off the third bend now from Sooty Centurion. This was all about the early pace, and at the moment Infield Jasper is just about going to do enough. 2 has fought it to the line. That's Sooty Centurion, but Infield Jasper got in as a reserve, and a lucky reserve, and it looks as though she's held off Sooty Centurion in the closest finish of the night, and the winning time is 29:06.
Yeah, Infield Jasper in Trap 4, apart from winning the race, had a big part to play in the race, dived inwards in the early yards, holding up Killpipe Blue and allowing Sooty Centurion to get a run up the inside. As at this point, 5, Galadriel seemed to be in a good shape, but seemed to run into a bit of bother at this point. Trap 3 and himself clashed, and all of a sudden Ballyhimmick Pip started to improve, but again 5 and 6 clashed at the third bend. Meanwhile, Infield Jasper would come in as a reserve, clocking 29:06 in victory, a career best for that one thus far. A daughter of JT Jet and Highview Record, claiming a 2nd career success. Congratulations to Barry Clancy and Aaron Downey. I don't want to do her a disservice, but she'll need to improve considerably to win the Puppy Oaks, but it's great to see her winning tonight, and she did so in fine style. She had to really dig in to get past Sooty Centurion. Rob, there was lots happening in that contest. Infield Jasper perhaps getting the clearest of runs at Sooty Centurion. That made the difference.
Yeah, it did make the difference, but as you said, you'll see a replay now. There was plenty of work to do. She's moved a little bit inside. Obviously, Sooty Centurion has led up in 5. Galadriel at this stage, I'd say Barry probably thought he was counting his money, but from the second bend, she just didn't get the breaks. But when 4, the winner, Infield Jasper, took over, she still had plenty to do, and she still had a battle on her hands. She's moved in nicely to take over proceedings at the third bend. The favourite, Ballyhimmick Jet, she got her chance to qualify, but she didn't really kick on. But still, the winner, Infield Jasper, had a little bit of work to do, and she's fought off Sooty Centurion. As you said, she'll need to improve on what she's done so far, but she got in as a reserve. They maybe thought that they got lucky then, But when your luck's in, you take full advantage. And not only has she got in as a lucky reserve, but she's booked her place in the next round with a win.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for that, Rob. We're going to look at the next race now from Limerick, because the Sean O'Connor Cup Heat 3 is upcoming, and we saw a Ballyhimmican runner in last one at Shelburne. We have a Ballyhimmican runner here at Limerick. We also have Trap 5 Rioja Smasher, Riaka Smasher. You'd swear I'd never drank a drop in my life. And out in Trap 6, All for the Best, a real strong runner. They'd be my 3 against the field. We'll take a closer look at them in a few moments, but they'll be going on parade very shortly indeed. Joe, just briefly, we'll be coming back to you in a few moments. What's your initial thoughts on this one?
I'm really looking forward to see Riaka Smasher. As you say, you never drank a drop in life. Well, I heard, Ian, after drinking a few drops, that you're a good man for a sing-song, and we're going to catch you for a bit of a tune later on. I really liked the look of Riaka Smasher from Trap 5. The middle seed is on with him. Pat Buckley thinks an awful lot of him, and really looking forward to seeing him in action. One of the kind of weaker heats of the
third of the quarterfinals. First up, David Carl of Brewery, County Limerick, runs Tyrap Luke, Trap 1 in the red. Next we have Victor, owned and trained by Miss Paula Heffernan of County Kildare. Here we have a runner for Graham Holland and his Riverside Kennels, Ballyhimkin Boy, number 3. Followed by John Meehan of Newmarket on Fergus, County Clare. He trains Bling Bling Pole. Pat Buckley has a runner in the orange jacket, Rioja Smasher. He is owned in England by Paul Woodburn. And Trap 6, it's trained by John Codd for the HDJ Syndicate, All for the Best.
Yeah, indeed. We're going to take a quick look at the 3 against the field. We've already mentioned Ballyhimmican Boy in Trap 3 for Billy and John Dunn. They have some really nice dogs at their disposal. This one trained by Graham Holland. He's progressive type. He won well last time out in Shelburne Park in 28.65. He also ran in the Juvenile Classic a little bit earlier in the year. Move on to Trap 5, Riaka Smasher, of course. Very well bred, this son of Tullamore Acton, Droopy Smasher. Out of luck in the opening round of the Kirby Memorial, but did clock a 28.51 around Limerick in the trial. And, given his pedigree, has to be shown respect. He's clearly one to keep an eye on, very unexposed. And out in Trap 6, All for the Best. This is a dog I think will stay certainly beyond 575 yards, which he has raced over and won over at Shelburne Park. Could be one that, gets 6 bends in time. Joe, I know you've said it before, but you know what they say, an ounce of breeding's worth a ton of feeding. There's some very well bred types in this, Joe.
Yeah, definitely Riaka Smasher, of course, a brother to the wonderful Sing Along Sally, and that is literally breeding to die for, of course, son of the wonder bitch that was Droopy's Smasher. To take him from top to bottom, Tyrap Luke, of course, for the Carls of Brewery, an impressive winner in 29.02 in Limerick. Probably has it all to do with a very, very strong heat here. Victor for the Heffernans, of course, a son of higher level. She was a fantastic bitch herself, got to Conan and Kirby Memorial semi-final, and look how well her comrades have been running in this year's Conan and Kirby, Vallegra, and of course Imva, who we will see in action later on. They're a real progressive kind of breed, and it's improving and improving all the time. So I'd expect Victor to put in an improving display tonight. Ballyhimmican Boy was so impressive in Shelburne, winning in 28.65. He was knocked out, of course, in the first round of the Conan and Kirby, but he was one of a number of runners who went on to win races next time out after getting knocked out of the Conan and Kirby. And it just shows you how strong this competition is. Bling Bling Paul, of course, for John Meehan of Newmarket and Fergus, ran with credit in the opening round of the Conan and Kirby, probably up against it here. Riaka Smasher, as we say, for Pat Buckley. I'm expecting this one to have a big run. And All for the Best, a greyhound. I love the name of it, All for the Best. It's a wonderful name. 1-6 on the bounce there before Christmas, so that was impressive, and will be staying on well. Track to suit, but I am going for Trap 5 here, Riaka Smasher. Over to you, Mel.
Runners in traps here at Limerick from the inside. Tyrap Luke, Victor, Ballyhimkin Boy, Bling Bling Pole, Roya Joe Smasher, All for the Best. 5 is a strong supported favourite on the near side. Rija Smasher going well, as is Ballyhimkin Boy. 1 best of all. Tyrap Luke takes up the running down the back stretch, followed by 6, 2 and 3. 5 Rija Smasher has a lot of ground to make up. They see second bend from home, and Tyrap Luke by a length or so. All for the Best on the outside. Ballyhimkin Boys in third in the white. We're off the final turn. 6 and white, 6 and 1. 6 finishes best of all. And that's All for the Best, trained by John Codd, to win in a time of 28.82.
Yes, indeed. Well, from the early yards, it looked like Trap 5, Riaka Smasher, was going to open his account at the third time of asking, but he just couldn't quite clear them on his inside. Trap 3, Ballyhimkin Boy, going up well, and all of a sudden, Trap 1, Tyrap Luke finds himself in front, but immediately it was pretty evident that Trap 6, All for the Best, was probably just too close. He's a real strong runner, this fellow. Back in third, Ballyhimkin Boy is showing foot. Riaka Smasher again trying to get involved into the third bend, but edging back in and just getting a little bit of crowding. Here you see 4 drifting off, but out front, All for the Best. It's just far too strong for Trap 1, Tyrap Luke, and back in third, Trap 3, Ballyhimkin Boy. All for the Best, owned by the HDJ Syndicate from a place called Bree, which just so happens to be where my late father was from, Bree, outside Enniscorthy. A great, great place. And it seems they have some good dogs. Joe, very impressive. All for the Best.
Yeah, All for the Best. You know, Riaka Smasher just got out, but it's so tough. From that wide draw to try and get in can be so tough at times, even if you're half a length or length in front. Just that manoeuvre when you're going from outside to trying to go in, it's just so many greyhounds just nearly get there and just stop making. Riaka Smasher, of course, just fell victim to that. Ran on well afterwards, and of course, All for the Best, as I said beforehand, a name I really, really love. This greyhound is now 7 wins from 17 starts, and that's a very, very good strike rate. Of course, Tyrap Luke for the Carls of Brewery. I know this runner will mean an awful lot to them. They're local to the track. Ran with great credit back in second, kept ploughing on all the way to the line. And Ballyhimkin Boy for Graham Holland, of course, who won in 28.65 last week, ran on exceptionally well as well. 28.82 winner here, All for the Best. Marches on to next week's Shannon O'Connor Cup semi-finals.
Yeah, thanks for that, Joe. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, we are looking ahead to Heat 5 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks, and some really talented types in action here again, including Ballymacmurray out in Trap 5, a good winner last time out in 28.49. And Native Polly, very likely race, but she showed real promise on debut around Newbridge and has since done a very quick time here at Shelbourne Park in a trial. So a couple to keep your eye on. I'm going to go over to Rob for this Heat 5 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oak. Give us your opinion, Rob. It's a good race. Again, no established stars, but Ballymacmurray did show plenty of promise last time out.
Yeah, Ian, as you mentioned, a very wide open heat. You would have seen Coolidary Wings run in the Michael Fortunan race. She didn't really get things on her side there, but she comes here. We've seen Glengar Masha down in Limerick over the last couple of weeks in the Connie and Annie Kirby. Wide open heat. I'd say it's the most open of the night so far.
Yeah, it is. It's wide open. It's a lot of guesswork here, Rob, because there's only one dog in this race. Ballymacmurray has actually had a race around here before, so you're taking the rest of them on trust. But yeah, she's going to be short. She was 4 to 5 today, so that'll be the one for me, Ballymacmurray.
Okay, thanks for that, Barry. And greyhounds are parading for our 5th race, Heat 5 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 5.25. First on parade is Glengar Masha for Michael Gemmell, and trainer Pat Buckley has been running in the Conn and Annie Kirby in recent weeks, and she's 1 from 3 so far. In 2, we've got Fizz Rosie for Mark Burra and William Blades. 1 from 1 for Peter Cronin. Of course, Peter won this competition a couple of years ago with Crack Lady, and this daughter of Farlow Blitz, bidding to make it 2 from 2. In 3, Coolidary Wings for Cora Doyle, trained by Cora. She's been running in the Michael Fortune Champion Unrace down in Enniscorthy and running quite well. She's bidding to win on her Shelbourne Park debut. 4 is Diego's Misty for Kern Russian in Essex, England, trained by John Byrne, a good winner at Limerick on her most recent start. She's a daughter of Droopy's Jet. 5 is Ballymacmurray for the I Can't Believe It Syndicate, trained by Declan Byrne. Sensational when winning here in 28.49 at the start of the month. And she's a sister to Ballymacbelvet and Ballymacmurlin, who we'll see at Limerick a little bit later on. And in 6, we've got Native Polly for John Kelleher. 1 from 1 so far. That win came at Newbridge in 28.69. She's had a look at Shelbourne here as well in a recent trial, and she posted 28.69 on that occasion. So something similar might be good enough in this 5th race. So it's our 5th heat of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 5.25. And again, if you're getting involved with Barking Buzz, remember to bet early.
Yes, indeed. Heat 5 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks, and our 3 to watch. The first we're going to take a look at is Coola Derry Wings. She took her place in the final of the future champion and Michael Fortune Memorial at Enniscorthy earlier in the week. She's normally a strong runner. She did actually turn close enough the other night, but it just wasn't meant to be. She'll be staying on at the finish. Next, we're going to take a look at the aforementioned Ballymacorna. This lady, a daughter of Vulturian Ballymac Bell. Her dam was a bit of a star, Christmas Oaks finalist, Cork Oaks finalist, second in the Harold's Cross Puppy Oaks, and she won the Shelley Fennelly Memorial down at Cork. It seems Ballymacorna is taking after her dam. And out in Trap 6, Native Polly. This lady, a daughter of Native Chimes in Ravenswood Margot. Ravenswood Margot did all her racing here at Shelbourne Park. She was never faster than 28.85, and her daughter has already gone quicker. So it'll be interesting to see, well, where she goes from here. 28.69 in her card. A lot to look forward to in this contest. Don't forget, the trio in this race guaranteed to €200. You can get all the details on Barking Buzz. But we're going to go down to Barry once again, get his thoughts on this fifth heat of the Puppy Oaks.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, obviously 5 Ballymacorna will start favourite here, but you mentioned your father's race that took place on Monday evening in Enniscorthy. You were commentating on it yourself. Coola Derry Wings, you mentioned her as a strong staying sort. She actually flashed from traps last Monday night and was quite unlucky. She just didn't make the bend. She was almost in front and her chance was gone there. So at a big price tonight, you can maybe mix her up with 5 in the forecast and TriCast market. Also, the top dog Glengar Masha was thought good enough to run in the Kirby stake by Team Buckley after a sparkling debut up at Youghal in 29.13. So maybe try and mix up 135, might pay a nice dividend on the TriCast. You have to mention the 6. She's done nothing wrong. 1 race, 1 win, and a decent trial, 28.69 here last week. So for me, maybe 5 to beat 3.
Good man, Barry. I think I can see the logic in your choices, but just that 28.69 of Native Polly just does catch the eye, and I wonder, will Ballymacorna be a true middle seed? She might just edge inwards a little bit in the early yards. An interesting race, as we've said. It is Heat 5 of the Shelbourne Oaks. Don't forget, we have the Shelbourne Open 600 semi-finals come up here at Shelbourne Park, and very shortly we'll be talking about the quarter-finals of the Con and Annie Kirby Memorial at Limerick. In the meantime, let's go to Rob for Heat 5 of the Puppy Oaks.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. If you're getting involved with the forecast, by the way, our previous trio paid €164. So if you want to follow Ian's 3, get them in the trio quick because it paid big in our previous race. Loading underway for our 5th race of the night, Heat 5 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 525, and Ballymacorna in Trap 5, the red hot favourite. They're all in. And the hair running for Heat 5 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. In 1, Glengar Masha. 2 is Fizz Rosie. 3 is Coola Derry Wings. 4 is Diego's Misty. 5 is Ballymacorna. And 6 is Native Polly. And away to go. Ballymacorna is well away, as is 6 on the outside, Native Polly, and it's these two who are going to dominate into the opening bend. But more importantly, it's Ballymacorna who leads off the second bend, and this is where she's likely to extend that lead, and she does, because she's now 4 clear of Native Polly, and it's a long way gap back to Glengar Masha in 3rd, but it's still Ballymacorna by about 4. Native Polly is trying to close the gap, but surely it's only a matter of how far off the final bend, and Ballymacorna is going to make it 2 from 4, and she's done it in really, really good fashion. Native Polly has run a blinder in 2nd, and they finish a mile clear of the remainder, and it's another good winning time here tonight at Shelbourne. Ballymacorna has done it in 28.42.
Yeah, like very much a couple of the first 2 heats, this was over from the early yards. Trap 5, Ballymacorna coming away well and showing good early dash to clear them on her inside. She, well, wasn't out in the middle of the track on the corner. She was quite close to the fence, but once she turned in front, she was never going to be stopped. Native Polly did indeed run very well in 2nd spot. There was a little bit of crowding in behind them, and perhaps the gap back to them was enhanced by that, but a couple to keep an eye on in behind. But out front, Ballymacorna, very impressive for the I Can't Believe It syndicate, who I've been reliably informed is made up by the same people that own the Oaks champion Ballymacbeanie, including Pat Dobbs, the jockey. So it'll be interesting to see where this lady goes to in the future. She's clearly a bright prospect, and by all accounts she's a leading fancy in this Puppy Oaks. It'll be interesting to see her. Rob, give us your thoughts on this contest again.
Yeah, as you said, once she sort of broke well and broke fairly on level terms, it was going to be a matter if she could get the bend. And as we said, from the second bend, it was a 2 greyhound affair. We'll see a rerun now. She's come away well. Native Polly has come away also well, but she showed good early, Ballymacorna, as she obviously did last week when she posted that 28.49. And once she laid off the second bend, it was going to be a matter of how far. As you said, there was traffic problems in behind, so that really meant that it was a 2 greyhound affair from the second bend. Native Polly, she's tried to keep it Ballymacorna for as long long as she could, but it's really at this stage that she's kicking on, and she's done it in really good fashion. As you said, she's one of the bitches to beat.
Yeah, she certainly is. Now we're going to switch our attention back to Limerick because we're getting into the really serious stuff. The opening heat of the Conn and Annie Kirby Memorial, as you can see, they're making their way onto parade. Let's join Mal. We'll have more thoughts after the parade.
The runners are now with us for the parade for the first of the quarterfinals. Rural Star comes from the kennels of Graham Holland for Helen and Emily O'Dwyer. Rural Star, number 1. In the blue jacket, we have for Patsy Fitzgerald of County Clare, trained by Jerry Holian, Flowers Enista, trap 2. 3 to qualify for the next stage. As we move on to trainer Dennis Lennon and his runner for Edward, it's Luminous Light. Trap 4, a 2-time Kirby winning trainer Brendan Matthews has a good chance here with the black jacket of the Machine. Winner last time out, trap 5, Scarty Yank, is jointly owned by Patrick Reardon and Gary Deneen of Scarta Glen. Our likely favourite is trap 6 for owner Peter Sutcliffe and trainer Pat Guilfoyle. Here we have the exciting Explosive Boy.
Yeah, indeed. What a heat to look forward to. Of course, Explosive Boy will be the one we'll be focusing on in a moment or two. But first, let's start with Rural Star, well housed in the fence. This fellow yet to produce his very best around Limerick, but if he did produce his best Clonmel form, he'd certainly be a leading fancy. Well housed in the fence, could find himself with a bit of room to race. Next, we're going to take a look at his Forward the Machine. This fellow caught the eye last week for more than one reason. Finishing fast, getting very close to Deadly Destroyer on the run in, but he is here tonight. None will be finishing faster, I can promise you that. Out in trap 6, Explosive Boy, the absolute superstar in the opening round, 28.08 off a sensational third bend split. If he hits the lids like that, he'll be very, very hard to beat. He does have the fast starting Scarty Yank to get around. The two I didn't mention, Flyers Iniesta, stayed on very well in his last 2 starts, and Luminous Light, the same could be said for him. He's yet to win a race, but he will be finishing well. A great race to look forward to. Joe, you've been looking forward to this one all week.
Yes, Ian, as you say, excitement is really building here at Limerick Grounds. I can feel the tension in the air. You know, I'm just thinking back in recent years of Colin and Kirby nights in Limerick and how special those nights were, and the electric atmosphere always at Limerick Grounds Stadium. I feel very privileged to be here. And of course, before we go any further, I want to give a very special mention to our sponsors who had a brilliant win in Aintree today with Manila Times, of course, ridden by Rachel Blackmore. So I'm sure it's a very special day for them, and of course, such generous sponsors of this wonderful competition. It's a real battle of early pace on the outside with Scarty Yank, 4.19 to the bend last week, and Explosive Boy, well, in the first week with his 28.08 run, he did 4.08 to the bend. And then you have the staying power on the inside, the likes of the Machine. I was here when he trialled in 28.16 in Limerick. On that day, his splits, he came home in 12.02. This fella can come home like an absolute jumbo jet. And of course, Luminous Light for Dennis Lennon, who came home in around 12.20 last week, which is fair good trotting from the third bend home. Breaks well, but needs to have a bit more early zip to get himself in contention of winning. I've been so looking forward to this all week. Explosive Boy out in 6. I've heard a lot of chit chat saying that Explosive Boy, he's not going to cope with the outside. I'm putting my neck on the line and say Explosive Boy is going to win this race. I really think he has a strong chance. Those sprints in Thurles are going to stand him, in my opinion. He won out of trap 5 twice, once in a sprint and once in a 5-2-5, and I think that experience from running from the outside and with those real early pacers in the sprint has got him used to the battle, and I think he will be well prepared and fresh for tonight. So really looking forward to seeing him in action. Scarty Yank, of course, for Gary Deneen and his uncle Patrick Reardon. Well, he ran so impressively last week in 28.31. As I said, 16.20 to the third bend and 4.19. I think it's between probably 5 and 6 for the early yards. Hopefully they all get a clear run and avoid any bit of congestion. Of course, the Machine, well, Ian touched it, maybe lost a bit of, got a small bit slightly distracted last week. Let's hope he can do a big run tonight. Luminous Light, of course, for Dennis Lennon, ran exceptionally well, stayed on like a train, and I think the penny kind of dropped for him. He showed promise in Shelburne with his 28.42 trial. Flyers Iniesta for Patsy Fitzgerald of Kilrush and Rural Star for Graham Holland make up the field. Those two inside runners, if they get a clean run, they have big chances as well. And over to you, Mel.
Opening heat of the Kirby, the hare coming up behind traps. And Racing Explosive Boy explodes from boxes and has quickly gone 3-4 clear into the opening turn. From in second spot 3 Luminous Light, then comes forward the Machine, but Explosive Boy setting a really searing gallop down the back straight. Keep eye on forward the Machine back in third spot, and 3 Luminous Light himself a good finisher, but it's still trap 6 Explosive Boy. Can he come to him? Forward the Machine is absolutely roaring home in second spot. It's 6 Explosive Boy, but here comes forward the Machine up to the line. 6 Explosive Boy all out, gets there. Forward the Machine second, 3 Luminous Light back in third spot. Just keep an eye on the clock. I'd say that's fairly sharp. Explosive Boy rocketed from traps as you'd expect. The Machine was finishing fast. Indeed, it was quick. 28.15 from Explosive Boy, 15.95 to the third bend. This fellow can run. Well, this one really was, well, I was going to say over from Trap Rise, but it wasn't over until the, final 5 yards, because Explosive Boy, as fast as he did come away from boxes and open up a clear advantage, you're keeping an eye on those in behind. Luminous Light, who has been staying on stoutly, and of course the Machine, we know exactly what he's capable of, a big finisher. And when he moved second at this point, I actually thought he might have got to Explosive Boy, but fairness to this greyhound out front, he has very much strengthened through his career, and now in his 12th career start, he's holding some really strong running trackers, and he deserves to be favourite to win the Con and Annie Kirby Memorial after that. Surely he can't be drawn in 6 next week, or can he? Joe, a lot to like about that. An explosive display from Explosive Boy, the Machine running a massive race in second.
Ian, I've been shaken with excitement since Explosive Boy, as you said, exploded from traps. 4.12 down to the bend. He did 4.08 in his first week. He literally exploded. Just so exciting. And he took off, and you would have said at that stage, he's home and hose. Looks to be like a 3 or 4 length winner. But look at the Machine, how well he ran on. He ran on like an absolute jumbo jet. It was so exciting. And Luminous Light, of course, for Dennis Lennon, ran on very impressively as well. Look at your clock, 28.15. As I said, those sprints from Thurles definitely helped him. And he, of course, he had been one from the outside twice before. And I think those experiences really stood to Explosive Boy. But, of course, the Machine ran on so well. Was so impressive. There was nothing in it. He was still doing a probably clock at 28.20, and to be able to do that kind of clock when you're not coming away is really impressive. And this Machine is some powerhouse of an animal. And of course, as I said, Luminous Light, but I'm really shaking with excitement after that one. It was such a brilliant run. I thought the track record, I put a few quid in it before the competition at 2-1 for the track record to be broken. I thought there may have been a chance of it, but so impressive, Ian.
Indeed, he certainly was impressive, Explosive Boy. If he starts like that 2 more times, we're probably looking at the Con and Annie Kirby Memorial winner. Of course, I did say if he starts like that. We're here at Shelbourne Park. Of course, the next race will be coming up very fast indeed, but so much to like about Explosive Boy. I was quite amused though when Joe said that he literally exploded. If he did, that would have been messy. We're moving on, because the next race here tonight at Shelbourne Park is the next heat of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks, and the Greyhounds are parading. We are hoping to get a bit of reaction from Limerick, but in the meantime, let's take in the parade.
Yeah, Greyhounds are parading for our concluding heat of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 5-2-5. And first on parade is Miguel for William O'Hanlon in Kilkenny. One of the most experienced in the competition. She's won 5 from 13, and she's a daughter of Patsy Sabbath. In 2 is Town Penny for Sean Dooley and AJ Dooley. She's 2 from 3 so far. Both wins have come here at Shelbourne Park, and she's a daughter of Skywalker Farlow. 3 is Slippery Edda for Larry Dunn. No looking 9 starts today, but the best is still surely to come. A half-sister to Slippery Diva and related to Ballydoyle Honey, who won this competition back in 2015 before going on to win the Sporting Press Irish Oaks that year. 4 is Good Diva for Maria Kennedy and Thurles. 3 from 4 so far. Of course, beat her little sister Ballyhimmick Pip in the Newbridge Unrace, and of course she's a half-sister to Billy's Diva. 5 is Wishful Pearl for Bernard Farrell, the second greyhound to make her debut in this competition. She's a daughter of Droopy Sydney and Ballymacfifi, which means she's a sister to Glasmeen Jem, who ran earlier in the night. And in 6 we got Faze the Boss for Shay Campbell. 2 from 5 so far. A daughter of Ballymurray Act and Droopy's Smasher, and that means she's a full sister to Sing Along Sally and a half sister to Glengar Bale, who of course got to the semi-final of the Ballsports Irish Greyhound Derby earlier of last year. So it's a really good finale to the opening round of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks, and it won't be too long until we're ready to rock.
Yes, indeed. We'll take a quick look at these three eye catches for Heat 6 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. In one, Me Gale, we've decided to go with. This daughter of Patsy Sabbath and Me Like a Lucy has 5 wins on her card at 28.98. The trial here at Shelbourne Park recently. She's a 28.87 winner around Waterford. She'll need to be going up fast on the inside here. Next, I'm going to take a look at his trap 3, Slippery Edda, for Larry Dunn, a daughter of Dribbish Jet and Royal Diva. Very talented type. And the last we're going to mention is Good Diva. But you know what? We're going to go down to Limerick because I believe Joe has a bit of reaction.
Oh, push it on, is it? Oh. Okay, yeah.
Pat, he absolutely exploded from boxes. I thought myself the experience of being in trap 5 of those wins so impressive.
Yeah, I wasn't sure myself what to expect, to be honest. I suppose in the field of railers, trap 6 can either be a blessing or a curse, and fortunately tonight he banged out and did it anyway. So yeah, no, he showed his grade early again. So he's running well. He's a lovely, genuine little dog. So
was there any difference coming into the race this week? You know, it didn't really show his true colours last week. Was he more fresh this week, or did you do?
I'd say he was a little bit more worked up last week. And of course, after doing 28.08 in the first round, you have to kind of, you can't, no matter how good a dog is, you won't keep doing that every week. So I took him handy last week, and I'd say as a result he was a little bit fresher, and more fresher perhaps than I'd like last Saturday night. So we took him, he had a bit more work this week. I'd say it suited him, so he's young, like we're still learning about him, but he's a lovely little dog, so hopefully he stays going forward.
You must be so excited. Well, Pat, we've had great memories of you winning the Irish Derby, of course, at Winded Ledger here a number of years ago. What would it mean to you to win to Cloncurry, ever get to the final? What the competition means?
Look, it would mean everything. Like we've won. It's probably the only one we haven't won, really, So to win that, I tell you, if to win the Kirby, I'd take it very handy afterwards, So I'd be happy enough to have won what I won then.
Pat, he has a brilliant chance of going all the way. Running, of course, my own local J Club of Skeeton, and the buzz has been great out there. So best of luck for the rest of the competition. I'm sure we'll have you back in the shed before the competition's out. Well done, Pat.
We'll see. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Pat Guilfoyle, a master trainer, a winner at Shelbourne and Limerick tonight, and Explosive Boy, one of the leading fancies. Just quickly, we're going to go to Barry. Barry, your thoughts on this Heat 6, the one we didn't get to mention, Good Diva. I'm sure this one's high on your radar.
She is indeed, and she's probably one of the best backed bitches of the day. She was 5 to 4 early this morning into about 11 to 8 before I left the house anyway. Mentioned for Larry Dunn, Slippy Ada, no wins from 9, but slow starts have been her Achilles heels. She has got track experience, and maybe in against puppies she might just find herself turning a little bit closer. So we'll go with 4 to beat 3 here, Ian.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for that, Barry. We are looking forward to this contest. As you said, Good Diva, Slippery Edda, probably the big two. Slippery Edda herself, her dam, of course, was a bit of a Star and Oaks finalist, Kirby finalist back in 2013. Interesting to see how she goes. Rob, for Heat 6 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks.
They're all in for our Heat 6. In 1, Me Gale, 2, Town Penny, 3, Slippery Edda. In 4 is Good Diva, 5 is Wishful Pearl, and 6 is Phase the Boss. And away they go. One's well away. That's Me Gale on the inside, as is 2, Town Penny. And at the moment, Good Diva and Slippery Edda have a little bit of work to do around the opening 2 bends. And 2 takes over Town Penny. But turning second is Good Diva. And on the outside, Wishful Pearl. But halfway up the back, and Town Penny for Sean Dooley has got about a 6-length advantage over Good Diva. Wishful Pearl is moving into second on her debut. She's running a big race. But this is surely all over, because Town Penny has still got a sizable advantage off the final bend. And she's going to win her concluding heat in good fashion. 5, Wishful Pearl has run a blinder on her debut and is tied for third between Good Diva and Slippery Edda, but it's Town Penny who's now made it 3 from 4 and in a winning time of 28.82.
Yeah, this is one of those heats where it's worth telling you the 4 are going to qualify. Trap 3, Slippery Edda completely missed the kick out front. 1, Me Gale going up fast. We said she probably would, but Trap 2 shows good determination on that bend and drives the bend. All of a sudden, Good Diva finds herself in second spot, but only momentarily, because the racing debutant Wishful Pearl runs a massive race to challenge her and go second into that third bend for Jane Hegarty. This one is one to keep an eye on, this daughter, Juby Sidney and Ballymacfifi. We saw a sister of hers running on very well earlier on, but Trap 2, Town Penny, it was only her 4th career start. She's a good winner for Sean Dooley, and if she does continue to progress, well, she too could get involved in the latter stages of this Puppy Oaks. Behind them, Slippery Edda and Good Diva did qualify, but they lost their chance early. As you can see, Trap 1, Me Gale coming away racing, but just watch this manoeuvre from Trap 2, Town Penny. It wasn't the manoeuvre of dog having its 4th career start, I can tell you that. She racing above her years at this point, and well, racing on to the third bend, going clear, very impressive in that fashion. or 5 Wishful Peril, just cutting off trap 4, Good Diva at that point. Slippery Edda had been making up by catching ground, but as you can see, trap 2, Town Penny, running out a very comfortable winner in the finish. 5 Wishful Peril in second, and back in third was trap 3, Slippery Edda, the winning time 28.82. We are going to focus our attention now on the next heat of the Conan Annie Kirby Memorial, and of course all eyes will be on the likes of Bombardier and Derby's Delight, who won so impressively last week. So too did Envoy, but Bombardier and Derby's Delight certainly were two of the most impressive winners of the night, and I'm sure Joe has his own thoughts. Joe, briefly, because we will be coming back to you after the parade, what's your own fancy?
I'm really looking forward to Derby's Delight for local trainer Neelis O'Connell. So impressive in 28.42 last week. Bear in mind, this dog only had his debut on March 16th. The following week he ran into Kirby. That's a very, very hard thing to do. I was really impressed by him last week. 33-1 for the competition. And of course, obviously we're looking forward to see Bombardier, as you might say. But Derby's Delight is one I'm really looking forward to seeing here.
The runners are coming to the parade area. No less than 3 of the second round heat winners are here, including Paula Heffernan with Envoy, trap number 1, which clocked 28.62 last time out. 3-time Kirby winning trainer Pat Buckley has Bombardier. It won in 28.31 7 days ago. Liam Dowling has 3 runners left at this stage, including the Litter Brothers. Ballymac Merlin is the first of those. That's number 3. The brother is Ballymac Belvolt for the Starboard Out Syndicate and Derek O'Brien. Local trainer Neelis O'Connell had a big winner last weekend with Derby's Delight, looking to make it 2 wins on the bounce for Conor Byrne, Derby's Delight. And trap 6, Epic News, owned and trained in Thurles, County Tipperary by Maria Kennedy. Runners will be going to traps in a moment or two for the second of the quarterfinals of the Kirby.
Yeah, they only give me 3 to really look at, and it's a shame because you'd want to be looking at all 6 of them. But the first we're going to start here is trap 2, should I say, Bombardier. Pat Buckley, of course, has won the Kirby on 3 different occasions, and this son of Ballymac Matt and Ballymac Effigy. Fast starter, strong stayer. He got to the corner last week. Can he get to the corner tonight? He will need to be on his toes in the early yards because some really talented rivals. The next we're going to take a look at is Derby's Delight out in trap 5, and this fellow stepped forward considerably on his previous form last week out. Absolutely flew home. Good track craft, real great determination for Conor Byrne and Neelis O'Connell, and if he progresses any further, well, he'll be a leading fancy in the Kirby, let alone in this contest. And the last we're going to take a look at, simply because he's got a great draw, Epic News. He's shown a hint in recent weeks that he's going to produce his best form. He does have a 28.31 trial here at Limerick, yet to win a race. We've seen a couple of his comrades running well already, or half comrades running well at Shelburne Park. He is a son of Good News and JT Sahara, a brother to Billy Steva. He's a dog with a big future. Ballymac Merlin, Ballymac Belvood in traps 3 and 4 for Liam Dowling. They can get involved, and so too can Envoy in 1. Joe, it's a great race to look forward to. You could make claims realistically for all 6. Again, you give me your choices.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Bombardier and Derby's Delight. So impressive last week. Got his trapping boots right and went down in 4.20. That was real good moving to the first bend for Bombardier. And of course, Derby's Delight. I think there's an awful lot more to come from this dog. I was speaking to the owner, Conor Byrne, during the week. He's really excited, and I wouldn't blame you, Conor. I'd be shaking with nerves if I was you. It's very exciting heat to look forward to.
Good man, Joe. Well, as you see, they're going to go to traps now for Heat 2 of the Conan Annie Kirby Memorial in just a moment or two. I just got the impression there, Joe, he's fond of the term trapping boots, that when the pubs reopen, I'm sure Joe himself will have his trapping boots on, and I'd say he'll be bringing his guitar and a little sing-song. And, he is a Lothario. His Tinder profile has been red hot over the last 2 or 3 weeks. This Talking Dogs TV really is doing him the world of good. Meanwhile, we won't give him a chance to reply because that's the power I have. Instead, we'll be going to Mal in just a moment for the second heat of the Conan Annie Kirby Memorial. Again, claims could be made for each of the 6. Of course, Joe has highlighted Bombardier and 5 Derby's Delight, and it's easy to see why. 2 very strong running greyhounds, but so too are Ballymac Belvolt. Epic News will be going on fast on the outside. Ballymac Merlin yet to show how quick he can come away from boxes. If he does, he'll be a big player. Envoy on the inside, a good winner last time out. Let's join Mal for Heat 2 of the Conan Annie Kirby Memorial.
Green flag raised. The runners: Envoy, Bombardier, Ballymacmerlin, Ballymacbelvolt, Derby's Delight, Epic News. In the second of the quarterfinals, 2 and 5 set the early pace. Bombardier is one of those going towards the turn from Envoy. 6 on the outside, Epic News picking up ground. Ballymacbelvolt is there as well. Up front, it's 6, 2, 4, 3, 1 and 5. As we move now towards the second bend from the finish, and Ballymacbelvolt leads on this occasion from its brother Ballymacmerlin. We're off the final bend. It's the Ballymacbacks going on 4, 2 and 3 qualify. Ballymacbelvolt, Bombardier and Merlin. The time is 28:42.
Yes, indeed. Well, I did my 3 dogs and I didn't have either of the Liam Dowling runners. And at one point, it looked like they were going to finish first and second. This race was really decided on the opening corner. Bombardier and Derby's Delight both making a fast start. But up the inside, one Envoy charging through on their inside and just no room to race. And he has to check off. All of a sudden, Bombardier's left in front. But just on his outside, Epic News challenging. But it was all about Ballymacbelvolt at this point. A real powerhouse, mad for the fence. And when the gap was there, he was going to charge through it. And indeed, he did. Bombardier just checked his stride at that point. Ballymacmerlin momentarily moves second, but Bombardier does stay on again very stoutly in second spot. A real determined run from him in defeat. But trap 4, Ballymacbelvolt, we've been waiting for him to do something like that, and that was mighty impressive from a very tricky draw. Yes, he did have a little bit of luck at the opening corner, but remember, he was still 2 or 3 lengths down after the gap and, well, had the pace to get there. Joe, Ballymacbelvolt, we know what he's about. He's all pace, power and strength from halfway.
Well, yes, as you'd expect the Liam Dowling runners to be doing, finding time and improving. He as you say, he had that run coming. 28:42 was very, very impressive. But it's strange in greyhound racing the way the tide turns. Last week, Derby's Delight came from behind, passed him out and won. And this week, Belvolt went all the way to the line. Of course, Liam Dowling's 2 runners getting through. Bombardier, I guess, just Belvolt just had more bit of an oomph on the night. And of course, Ballymacmerlin running in on very, very strongly in third, but 28:42, and I'd imagine there's an awful lot more to come from these 2 comrades of Ballymacmerlin and Ballymacbelvolt, and of course Bombardier. When he keeps getting those trapping boots right, I'm sure he will have a big part to play in this year's Conan and Kirby Memorial. But very, very exciting 2 races so far. Can't wait for the rest of the action.
Yeah, indeed. Worth noting that here at Shelbourne Park, their litter sister, Ballymac Orna, won in 28:42 also. So clearly a very talented family, this litter of Fulchuri and Ballymacbel. But so much to like about Ballymacbelvolt, and just watch him up the home straight. He's absolutely tearing up the ground, tight to the fence. And if he's close off the second bend to any greyhound in this competition, he's going to be a big, big player. Lots to look forward to in the remainder of the action here tonight at Limerick. Of course, we've got 2 more heats of the Con and Annie Kirby Memorial, the 2 remaining quarterfinals. Joe, just your thoughts briefly while we have a chance. They're only just out here at Shelbourne Park. The next 2 heats of the Con and Annie Kirby Memorial, heat 3 of course, the big clash between the pitches, Singalong Sally, Ballymac Ariel, throw in Deadly Destroyer and a couple of other very talented types. And then the final heat we have, of course, Mallogs Marley, one time only, Ballymac or Fabulous Azura. Lots to look forward to. What's the big one you're looking forward to? Is it the Clash of the Ladies?
Definitely, Ian. You know, this is a mouth-watering clash. Singalong Sally in Trap 1 and Ballymac Ariel in Trap 3. We haven't seen the best of Ballymac Ariel thus far, but you know what? She's done what she had to do. She's qualified for the first 2 rounds, and I'm sure there's a massive, massive run to come in Ariel. Singalong Sally, absolutely flawless thus far she has been in. It's a mouth-watering clash. You know, these 2 bitches, not only the best 2 bitches in Ireland, probably the best 2 bitches on the planet. Really looking forward to it. And let's not forget Deadly Destroyer for Gary Hannon and Carl Ramsbottom in Trap 5. Has been flawless as well throughout the competition, so really, really looking forward to the next heat. Cannot wait. I'm shaking with excitement here. It's just brilliant, brilliant stuff.
And that's just Joe describing the pub's opening. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, they are going to go on parade. Just a word, this is an 850-yard contest. It's absolutely tremendous to see one on the card, and I must give credit to the racing office here at Shelbourne Park, giving the stayers a chance. Want to see more of this. Rob, I'm sure you like a good stare too.
Yeah, great 6-bend action coming up, and we move on to our 7th race, the Rossney Canaran Open. 8.50. First on parade is Glencloy Spark for Samuel Rossborough. 1 from 12 so far. Has run over the 7.50, but like a few of these, has yet to tackle the 8.50 trip. And this is wearing the red jacket. In 2 is Rissatalk Ben for Timothy Keane. 4 from 26 so far. Has won at Limerick and at Cork. Makes its Shelbourne Park debut. This son of Holden Spy. So far we've seen him show plenty of stamina. 3 is Tinnock Phantom for Michael Devereux in Kildare. She's a daughter of Ballymacvic and Glennie. 4 from 15 so far, and she has also been showing plenty of stamina, particularly at Newbridge in the past. 4 is the red hot favourite, and she needs no introduction. Sporting Pat for Michael Rowe in England. She's a daughter of Ballymacgask and Eddie Kittens. She's been running over this trip. She's run over 1,025 yards in the past, and she's taken on the likes of Reds for Arford and Ballymac Wisdom. She'll take plenty of beating. 5 is Family Business, the third of the females for Adam Matthews. 1 from 5 so far. She's the least exposed in the lineup. She's a daughter of Droopy's Jet. And in 6 we have a reserve, and that is Quizmaster Eddie for the Jacks Are Wild Syndicate, trained by Enda Gethens. 2 from 13 so far. Has won over 7.50 here at Shelbourne Park, but might need a personal best if he is to prove successful. So race 7, it's over the 6 bends. It'll be starting at the sprint traps, and don't forget, it's the second winning line for the 7th race.
Yeah, this 850-yard contest, really looking forward to this. It starts in the sprint box. It's the second winning line, as Robert alluded to. We're going to take a look at Sporting Pat. This lady, a daughter of Ballymacgeski and Any Kisses for Jerry Griffin, and a good friend of mine, Mike Rowe. This lady would be absolutely hammering home. Perhaps it is on the short side for her 850 yards, but she's close at halfway. Well, just keep an eye on her, because she'll be motoring home. And the next we're going to take a look at is Family Business, and she's certainly bred for the job, being a daughter of Droopy's Jet and Volcano. Volcano was one of the great stayers in modern times, ultramarathon stayers. I'm sure you remember her, Barry. She was a bit special, Volcano. What are your fancies here? Of course, we're both disappointed the Trap 6 Bling Bling Sal is out, but in her absence, perhaps it is between 4 and 5.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you there, because of one of my bets of the night in this race. You might think I'm going crazy, but I'll get to it now in 1 second. I quickly spoke to Robert Gleeson, asked him about Bling Bling Sal. He said up to 2 o'clock today she was fine. Just jumped off her bench, got a knock, and decided to pull something on her tonight. He said he likes her for the future, so she will have her day. I'm going to go with trap 1 here, Glencloy Spark. Now, my friends have said to me today, it must be crazy to tip this one up, but there's reason behind the logic. He's a couple of good sectionals over 5.25 here, 2.18, 2.14, which would suggest he could lead. And he's been strong over 7.50. I just looked, his brother won last week in Romford, Gurry Steve, over 850, and his pedigree is stamina laden once you go back. He's actually closely related to Astute Missile, Derby winner 2017. Another brother of his, Dryland Tiger, won an open 600 over here. So I think heading past the stands the first time, you could be on a dog at 6 or 7 to 1 that might be 4 or 5 lengths clear. I know Sporting Pat is a big huge finisher, and of course Family Business in 5 is bred to stay the trip. But I'm going to take a chance on trap 1. Hopefully he leads past the stands, and then it's just catch me if you can, Ian.
Good man, Barry. 850 yards, Rob. Don't forget, second winning line, 1.5 laps.
Yeah, they're all in for 7th race. The Open 850 and 1 Glencloy Spark. 2 is Lissatuk Ben. In 3 is Tinnock Phantom. 4 is the hot favourite Sporting Pat. 5 is Family Business. 6 is Quizmaster Eddie. And away they're going. 4 gets a flyer. Sporting Pat. Up in the inside is Tinnock Phantom, and 5, that's Family Business. And Glencloy Spark, after a slow start, getting into gear. But around the top 2 bends, Sporting Pat just starting to lose her pitch, as it's 3 Tinnock Phantom who's taken them along from 5 Family Business. Then we've got Glencloy Spark, Quizmaster Eddie, and Sporting Pat. Just over a circuit to go, and Tinnock Phantom is bidding to lead all from here. But 5 cuts in Family Business. Glencloy Spark is there, and at this point Sporting Pat should be about to motor, and there she goes into the 5th bend, and Sporting Pat is absolutely flying. Can she get the gap of Tinnock Phantom? She can, and this is only a matter of how far now from Sporting Pat, because she's pulling away from Tinnock Phantom. Glencloy Spark is back in 3rd, but Sporting Pat, she was the class act, and she's proven so. Wow. And she's absolutely bolted up from 3. That was Tinnock Phantom. It's tight for 3rd, but she was the class act on paper, and she's proved it on the night, and she's done it in 47.51.
Yes, well, indeed. Sporting Pat, if you're more than familiar with her, you were never really too concerned. She did seem to lose her pitch a little bit around the opening two bends, but I can promise you off the fourth bend as they entered the back straight, it was a case of how far, because this lady just stays and stays and stays. She was fastest from traps. It was trap 3, Tinnock Phantom, that took up the running. Family Business in second spot. Barry's Choice there won Glencloy Spark. Didn't get the start. Did actually run well for a long, long way. If it had hit the lids, could have given Barry a real thrill, but out front it's trap 3, Tinnock Phantom. But just keep an eye in behind trap 4, Sporting Pat. She hasn't engaged the afterburners at this point. She's after moving fourth now as they enter the back straight, and here she goes. She just takes off down the back straight, nice as you like a sports car, just engaging in second, third, maybe hitting even fourth gear into that third bend, and she just stays on so stoutly up the home straight. She really is a star. You really wish for the likes of this lady that there were races over further around Ireland, and perhaps we will see more staying contests in the coming months, because this lady deserves to win a big one, or to give her a chance to win more races, because she really is a star, and a really stout staying star at that. I really look forward to seeing her again in the future. Meanwhile, it's starting to get dark here at Shelbourne Park, so too down at Limerick, but we are looking forward to the bitches to light up proceedings in Heat 3 of the Conn and Annie Kirby Memorial. Let's join Mal for the parade for this mouth-watering contest.
The runners are now with us for the third of the quarter-finals. Here we see Sing Along Sally, winner a couple of rounds ago for Pat and Emma Buckley. Sing Along Sally, fresh with success in Tralee. Next up, also winner early on in the Kirby Vallegro is for Paula and Morris Heffernan. Looking for a quick double on the card is Ballymac Aerial for Liam Dowling. Trap 4 we have for the Step Into My Office Syndicate, Broke With Hope. Trap 5 is trained by Carl Ramsbottom, looking for a third win on the bounce. Deadly Destroyer is for Gary Hannon of Bray. And number 6, Kevin Loughnane and Stephen Pennell run Benalmadena Roxy. Those are the runners heading towards traps for the third of the quarterfinals to the Conn and Annie Kirby.
Yes, indeed. There you saw the runners going through parade for Heat 3 of the Conn and Annie Kirby Memorial. We are going to start with Trap 1, of course, Sing Along Sally. This, the Juvenile Classic winner for Pat Buckley. A real star, a daughter of Tully Muriac and Droopy Smasher. She won't move an inch off the fence. She is a fast starter. She stays all day. She's clearly a leading fancy. The second we're going to take a look at is Ballymac Aerial. For some time she's been, well, a personal favourite of mine. She's an absolute superstar. She hasn't been quite at her best at Limerick, but in recent, her last start, she certainly showed signs that she was going to produce something like her very best. If she does, she could be very hard to contain, especially if she hits the lids, which she hasn't been doing of late. And the next we're going to take a look at is Deadly Destroyer. Got the better of the machine last week after a late battle, and Deadly Destroyer will edge across to the fence in the opening yards. If he does get around, well, he'll be hard enough to pick up, but he's going to need to be at his very sharpest, because this is a cracking contest. Vallegro's in 2. He can really run a strong runner. Broke With Hope needs looking for, and so too does Benalmadena Roxy out in 6. A great race to look forward to. Joe, give us your thoughts briefly.
Such an exciting contest, as we say. Two of the best pitches on the planet in the race. Also Deadly Destroyer, he's been very, very flawless throughout the competition. 28.36 in the first week, 28.52 last week. Look at his two splits to the first bend. First week 4.19, last week 4.16. Doing those kind of clocks to the corner is going to have you in strong contention to lead those races. Sing Along Sally has been doing 4.17 to the bend, so there's an awful lot of early pace in this race. Vallegro was doing about 4.20 last week. Ballymac Aerial, well, she's not known for her early pace in this competition as of yet, but as I say, I'm really looking forward to a massive run from her. I'm hoping and praying she gets to the room and just shows us what she's made of, because this bitch can really, really move. Broke With Hope, of course, trained by Liam O'Keefe, of course, and his wife Ali, for the Step Into My Office Syndicate down in Boeing. Of course, I was used to hearing that phrase back in school, and when I was getting in trouble, Step Into My Office. Deadly Destroyer, of course, for, as I said already, for Gary Hannon and Carl Ramsbottom. Very, very impressive. And Benalmadena Roxy, of course, for Stephen Pennell, has been running with great credit to the competition so far. If I had to go for one, I probably would go with Ballymac Aerial. I think there's a massive, massive run in her. Running, of course, for Doon GA Club, and I must mention the rest of the GAA clubs, the likes of Killeedy, GAA Strong Hurling Club out in West Limerick that runs with Trap 1 Sing Along Sally. Of course, St Patrick's Ladies Gaelic Football, who have Bellamedina Roxy, and of course South Liberties. We cannot go on without mentioning South Liberties, of course, and the green and yellow colours that Manila Times carried home for JP McManus today. How fitting would it be to see this fella go all the way for Gary Hannon and Carl Ramsbottom? It's an intriguing contest. I'm really, really excited to see this one. It's going to be absolutely smashing. Over to you, Mel.
In traps, 1 Sing Along Sally, 2 Vallegro, 3 Ballymac Ariel, 4 Broke with Hope, 5 Deadly Destroyer, 6 Bellamedina Roxy. 3 to qualify, very level break in the third quarter final on the rail. Sing Along Sally, couple forced to check, 6 goes through. Bellamedina Roxy is in second, 2 Vallegro is in third. Back then we have 3, 5 and 4. Up front, Sing Along Sally, she's going along nicely here from Roxy in second. Big battle on for third in the qualification spots. Off the final bend, Sing Along Sally is going to score here. It'll be 1-6 definite qualifiers. Sing Along Sally and Bellamedina Roxy tied for the third qualification spot. The winning time here is 28-21. The winner trained by Pat Buckley.
Well, Pat Buckley has won the Conor Nanny Kirby Memorial 3 times, and well, he certainly has real chances of making it 4 with Sing Along Sally. This lady shooting up the inside, not one of her flying starts, but had the early speed to contain her rivals on the outside and goes on clear into the back straight, and once doing so was never going to be stopped. Bellamedina Roxy did get tight in the middle. She went around the outside, took second spot. There's a great battle on for third. Vallegro is now on the inside, gone third again after Ballymac Ariel had shown devastating pace to challenge at the third turn. It's tight on the line. Looks like perhaps 2 Vallegro, but that's certainly one for the judge. But Sing Along Sally, a very, very impressive winner. Just keep an eye on the early yards. Ballymac Ariel did come away reasonably well, but just get a bit tight in her. She's not showing that early speed that she can show, and that perhaps is after costing her a place in the semi-finals. Joe, what's your thoughts on it? I'm sure you're very impressed with Sing Along Sally.
What an amazing performance by Sing Along Sally. It was a very, very tough heat. There was an awful lot of quality in this race, but as I said before, this bitch is absolutely flawless. And of course, we must give another mention. You were saying the ladies lighting up this race. There's another brilliant lady leading out Sing Along Sally, Emma Buckley, of course, was a wonderful credit to the sport. She spoke so well on RGB TV a number of weeks ago, and in fairness, her passion just shines through all the way, and it's great to see young people. She really is a leading light for young people in the great sport of greyhound racing, and we have an awful lot more to be proud of in that regard. So impressive, Sing Along Sally. Ballymac Ariel ran on really well and was really trying to get there, but the result has just come true. Vallegro got up for third spot, and in fairness, great credit due to Vallegro. These higher level pups are really, really progressing week in, week out, and they're staying in. They're doing what they need to do to qualify. And of course, Bellamedina Roxy in second was very, very impressive as well. But look at the split, 16.09 to the third bend. She came home in about 12.12, which is very, very strong coming home as well. Probably one of the strongest in competition. She has it all. She starts, she stays. What more do you need? Sing Along Sally. And of course, the song I love is So Sally Can Wait. She knows it's too late for Oasis. Ian, you might give us a belt of that one later on, will you?
Yeah, Joe would be too young to remember the Commitments. They sang one about Sally too. You never know. You get a few beers into me in a few weeks' time, I might sing it for you. We move on here at Shelbourne Park because we're getting closer to our serious stuff. But the next race is on Parade. It's an open 5-2-5 semi-final. I think we're going to head over to Rob firstly for his thoughts. No, they're going straight on Parade.
Yeah, on Parade indeed. For our 8th race, the first semi-final of the Greyhound Racing Open 5-2-5. First on Parade is Ballymac captain for George Roach, a 5-time winner from 17 starts. Won here at Shelbourne on his most recent start, and he's a son of Ballymacmat. 2 is Shaggy Nidge for Michael Roach and Tony Roach, trained by Robert Gleeson. 4 wins from 10 starts for the son of Droopy's Nidge. He's got a big chance. 3 is Cabra Blitz for Paddy Scally in Tipperary. She's won 7 of her 25. She's won here the last couple of weeks, and she's bidding to be the first greyhound to win 3 in a row on Talking Dogs TV. In 4, we've got Awesome Blue for Tom McBride in Kildare, trained by Jack Bride, a hugely consistent son of Scolari Midali. 6 wins from 23 starts, but a host of places after that. And he's another with a big chance. 5 is Hello Mikey for Gary Silcock, trained by Gary himself. 3 from 10 for the son of Tyre Big Mike, was running in the Conor Kirby in Limerick the last couple of weeks. And in 6, we've got the 6th inside seed and the second female, Knock Bitten Boo for Orla Kelly, trained by Orla herself. 2 from 7 for this daughter of Taylor's Sky, and she can start fairly well, so from trap 6 she could be one to look out for early on. So we're on to our 8th race, the opening semi-final of the Greyhound Racing Ireland Open 525.
Yeah, we're going to head straight back down to Joe because I believe he has Emma Buckley
there.
Yes, I've done wonderful Emma Buckley here, shaking with excitement. Emma, she was just absolutely flawless.
Yeah, look, she pinged out and did what we know she can do. It was all about qualifying at this stage of the game, so yeah, really happy with her.
She's so consistent out of boxes, like 4:17 last week, 4:19 this week. It's just a brilliant addition that she has, you know.
Yeah, look, you're always kind of confident that she'll find herself in a nice position going up to that first corner, and she's staying the trip very well, so delighted with her.
Just seeing her tractor coming home in 12:12, like the fact that she can start so well and stay so well, she just has it all. She's the full package.
Yeah, look, she really is the full package. If she could do that for another 2 nights, you know, it would be great. But look, fingers crossed for her.
Well, Emma, you won this competition 3 times, and this lady is going to give you an awful long way of going to the 4th time winning the Conor Kirby. Well done, and looking forward to having you back in the studio over the coming weeks. Well done on that.
Hopefully. Thanks, Joe.
Cheers.
Yeah, Emma Buckley, she really is a star. Joe seems to have a soft spot for her anyway, that's all I can tell you. We're moving on here at Shelbourne Park because the next race is the opening semi-final of the Greyhound Racing Ireland Open 525. The 3 we're going to take a quick look at. In trap 1, Ballymac Captain, owned by Georgie Roach. I was talking to Georgie at Enniscorthy last Monday night, and he's in great form with himself, and delighted with trap 1 for this fellow, Ballymac Captain. He shoots up the fence. If he hits the front, he'll be hard enough to pick up the son of Ballymac Matt and Mad About Hannah. Next, we're going to take a look at Cabra Blitz. You'll be well familiar with her if you've been watching Talking Dogs TV over the last 2 weeks. She's won on both weeks. Last week coming from off the pace, the previous night making every inch of the running. If she hits the lids, she'll be very hard to stop. That 28.60, well, you could take 30 spots off that. The track wasn't the fastest that night, and out in trap 5, Hello Mikey. This fellow was an eye catcher for me in the opening round of the Easter Cup. He ran very well in the opening round of the Kirby, coming home well to score in 28.77, but out of luck last week. He is a talented greyhound, but they're facing some decent types. Barry, a good contest, a really good graded contest here. Remember, Barking Buzz, you can get all the prices there, trio guarantees throughout the evening. Barry, what's your thoughts on this 8th race? Ballymac Captain, well housed in the fence. He might set the pace, but I dare say you might have other thoughts.
I usually do. Look, it's traps 1 and 3 here. Cabra Blitz, both of them have won 4 of the last 7 races. The 3, 4 and 6 all ran in the same race last week. Cabra Blitz came out on top. I know yourself and Rob were very keen there last week. She was incredible here 2 weeks ago, and she done an awful lot wrong here last week and still got up to win. But of course, you know me, thinking outside the box. It's not gone well tonight, but we'll try again. I'm going to have a small punt on Shaggy Nidge. I think he's the only one that mightn't have to lead, and I think if you can just sit in off them around the first bend, he might get a good run down the back straight for Robert Gleeson. So that'll be my choice, Shaggy Nidge in trap 2. And I just warn Emma Buckley, she better hope that Timmy Holland isn't looking when Joe was chatting to her down there.
Yeah, indeed. Shaggy Nidge bidding to complete a double tonight for Robert Gleeson. He won the 3rd race tonight with Front Amani, who also came from off the pace. Can Shaggy Nidge repeat that? Well, we'll soon find out. As you can see, the loading process is almost complete. 1-3-5 in first, 2-4-6. Over to Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. And the hair just about to be set in motion. They're all in for our 8th race. And 1 is Ballymac Captain, 2 is Shaggy Nidge, 3 is Cabra Blitz, 4 Awesome Blue, 5 is Hello Mikey,
when they're sharper,
and 6 is Knock Mitten Boo. And away to go Cabra Bliss. She's away okay, but 6 gets a flyer. That's Mock Mitten Boo, and it's going to lead into the opening turn. But Cabra Bliss, somehow she manages to get around in second, and she's a big danger to this leader, which is Knock Mitten Boo. So Knock Mitten Boo leads, but there goes Cabra Blitz up the inside, and she takes over into the 3rd bend. And surely this is all over, bar the shouting, because it's Cabra Blitz by 3 from Knock Mitten Boo. Then we've got Ballymac Captain and Awesome Blue, but off the final bend, and she's going to make it 3 on the trot on Talking Dogs TV. She's a star, Cabra Blitz, and she wins in in really good style from Knockbitten Boo, who's run a blinder in second. Awesome Blue has finished third, but is 3 in the trot for Cabra Blitz in 28.57.
Yeah, she's our first hat-trick in Talking Dogs TV. That's 1, 2, 3. Our first 3 nights, Cabra Blitz has come home in front. And tonight, she was a bit better from boxes than last week. 6 Knockbitten Boo did go up fast. You saw trap 1 missing the kick. He forced trap 2 out of the way. Shaggy Nidge on the bend, goes third himself. But out front, trap 6 Knockbitten Boo was really a sitting duck, because we've seen over the last 2 weeks what Cabra Blitz is capable of. She's clearly a lady in flying form. And when you are in flying form, you follow them. And Cabra Blitz charging through on that third bend and staying on stoutly up the home straight. She wins well for Paddy Scally. She is a bit of a star at present. She has a little bit of age on her side, but that's 3 in a row, and fully enough, it's only her 8th career victory. You just wonder what was happening in the first 20-odd races, but she's in flying form at the moment, Cabra Blitz, and she's certainly one to keep an eye on. Moving on here at Shelbourne Park, well, we'll be looking at the second semi-final of the Greyhound Racing Ireland Open 525 in a moment or two. But first, we'll have one more replay with the bold man, Robert Callerson, in commentary box. I think you like this one, Rob.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to not be taken by her. We saw her obviously a couple of weeks ago. It probably wasn't as good as what she's run the last couple of weeks, but she was brilliant then. She did it the hard way tonight, and so tonight it was a combination, because she didn't fly out. She had to sort of get to the bend and avoid trouble, but once she got a clear run at the second bend, she's just taken over. I know the Sporting Press Irish Oaks is a couple of weeks away, or a couple of months away, but already you're just hoping she gets there safe and sound and in similar form, because for many she's going to be on their shortlist.
Well, we've no time to waste, because they are going on parade at Limerick very shortly indeed for the last of the heats in the Conn and Annie Kirby Memorial. As you can see, the Greyhounds just getting ready to go on parade. You know, Fabulous Azura is the only remaining dog in the Kirby hosting or holding an unbeaten record. She won 28.50 and 28.26. I wonder, can she do so again? We are having problems with our feed from Limerick, unfortunately. I'll go through the runners for you very quickly. 1, Mallogs Marley for the KDB Syndicate, trained by Graham Holland, the son of Druppies Roddick and Emer's Poppy, well housed on the fence. Trap 2 is Agent Stanley, good winner last week for Mary Gilbert, owned by Pat Flanagan and Erwin Burkmeyer. Dog with plenty of pace throughout, a son of Law Hill, Blake Siderian Pearl. He'll look to set the pace up the inside. Trap 3, 1 time only for Tommy O'Donovan for Paul Horrigan and John Woodford. Watching on in the Bahamas, this son of Droopy Sidney and Mag's Image has 1 win on 6 starts. That came in the second round of the Juvenile Classic, if I'm correct. He'll be also looking to go up well. He'll stay to the middle of the track. 4, Fabulous Azura, we've already mentioned her, unbeaten in the stake for Graham Holland and David Firmager. She's a real talent. Her brother won earlier on, Romeo Magico. He too is a real talent. He won in 28.18. Can his sister repeat the dose? Out in 5 is Zafiro, a real powerhouse. A little bit disappointing in the early yards last week, but he does stay on stoutly. Owen McKenna, Des Grace, a dog with a big future, the son of Droopy Sidney and Ballymac Razzle. We mightn't see the best of him though for a little while yet. I'd say by the end of the year he'll be a real star. And out in 6 is Stone Park Leo, good winner last week after catching the eye in the opening round. He's owned by Michael Sean O'Dwyer, trained by Mark O'Donovan. As you can see, the Greyhounds have actually gone through the parade area, and the 3 we're going to focus our attention on. 1, Mallogs Marley. I just thought this fellow was very well housed. He's won 5 of his 13 starts, did 28.59 in defeat last week. That's despite not getting the clearest run early. He could go quicker, and he is well housed with 2 Agent Stanley likely to edge off slightly. Trap 3 is 1 time only, a dog that can hit the lids, and if he did, he'd play a part in proceedings. 1 time only in Trap 3. This fellow, trained by Tommy O'Donovan, he will look to go up fast, as I've said, and a Trap 3 draw certainly not against him. And 4, Fabulous Azura, for the 3rd time we're mentioning this lady. She is something special, a bit of a professional, hits the lids, goes flying to the corner and maintains a strong gallop throughout. She really is the full package. She's a leading contender for all the top bitch competitions later in the year, and indeed she's challenging against the dogs at this stage. As you can see, we are just having 1 or 2 issues with our pictures from Limerick at present. We are trying to get the gremlins out of the system, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you uninterrupted pictures of this 4th heat of the Conn and Annie Kirby Memorial. Behind the scenes here on Talking Dogs TV to bring you that action. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do at present, but bear with us. Again, this contest, it's all about what Fabulous Azura does in those opening yards. I believe Joe can hear us. Joe, can you hear us?
I certainly can, Ian, and I'd never get sick of hearing that lovely sweet voice of Ian Fortune's Fabulous Azura. Really, really looking forward to her. She has been foot perfect thus far in her opening 2 weeks, 28.26 and 28.50. But I'm looking at her times to the opening corner, 4.14 and 4.16. If she repeats that, it's probably going to be all over. But greyhound racing, you can never know what to expect, and anything can happen. I know Thomas O'Donovan has been very, very sweet on one time only. He won the Ledger, of course, last year. He assures me that Tipperary and him is looking to do the treble. He wants to win the Ledger, the Kirby and the All-Ireland. I said to him, you can have your Ledger and your Kirby, but keep your hands off the Liam McCarthy, of course, one time only running for Kildimo Pallaskenry GAA. Agent Stanley, of course, for Desi and Mary Gilbert, and Pat Flanagan and Oren Burkmeyer was so impressive, winning in 28.56 last week. Has a bit of early dash, about 4.22 he's able to, so should be there or thereabouts. And Stone Park Leo for young trainer Mark O'Donovan was so impressive last week, winning in 28.78. It's a very, very open heat, but my eyes are on Fabulous Azura running for Ballysteen GAA Club, warm favourite for our last quarter final of this year's Conan and Kirby Memorial.
The last of the Kirby quarterfinals. Mallox Marley, Agent Stanley, one time only, Fabulous Azura, Zafiro, Stone Park, Leo. The favourite is in trap 4, misses the break completely. Agent Stanley doesn't, leads early on. Trap 2 from 1, Mallox Marley. At the second bend, it's 2, 1 and 6. 5, 4 and 3, 2, Agent Stanley by 4 lengths on Mallox Marley. 6 improves Stone Park Leo. The favourite Fabulous Azura looks to be out of it, going towards the final bend. Trap 2, Agent Stanley from Mallox Marley. It's 2, 1 and 6 as the likely qualifiers, and that's how they finish past the line. Agent Stanley wins in a time of 28.40 for trainer Marie Gilbert.
Yeah, I was just looking to see the clock there. 28.40, fine display there. This was a strange contest, shall we say. I dare say something might have just hit the lids or something, because it was a false start by a couple of them. Trap 3 one time only, completely stumbled from boxes. In contrast, Agent Stanley absolutely rocketed from trap 2. Mallox Marley turning second, and back in third, Stone Park Leo. Nothing else had a chance of really getting involved. Trap 3 one time only. Just watch him behind. He's after finding himself in fourth by the third bend. That was a stunning run from him. Unfortunately, he will crash out of the competition, but trap 2 Agent Stanley absolutely foot perfect out front. Went on to win by 2 lengths from in second, Mallox Marley, and third, 6 Stone Park Leo. Trap 2 Agent Stanley. He couldn't have broken any faster if he had tried. That was sensational from Agent Stanley, but you know, a strange contest, a couple of them missing the kick. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's just a fitting 3 and 4 Mr. Kick, you know, and it's uncharacteristic to say the least. It was very strange, but I suppose that's greyhound racing for you. Anything can happen, you never know what to expect. But I am not surprised by Agent Stanley in this 24 or 28.40 run, shall I say. Of course, trained by Desi and Mary Gilbert. 7 wins from 13 coming into tonight, 8 from 14 now after tonight's performance, and 28.40. 4.12 down to the bend. You know, last week we chatted to Desi off camera, and he was just telling us that the first time around was his first time actually around Limerick, and Limerick's a tough track to get used to, and you can really see in the last few weeks Agent Stanley has got his trapping boots bang on. He had a 2:02 sectional from Shelburne, so we knew he had early pace, and tonight, by God, he really showed it. Mallox Marley ran a great credit for Team Holland back in second, and of course Stone Park Leo for the O'Dwyer family of Ballyneety and young trainer Mark O'Donovan was so impressive last week and ran on very, very well this week. But yeah, it's all about Agent Stanley, and of course well done to owners Pat Flanagan and Oren Burkmeyer as well. Great achievement to get to the semi-final of such a wonderful competition. And we have Desi Gilbert on the way to join us here. Desi, of course, who came down here to the Ledger last year with Oren Don, got to the final. Hopefully this dog can go a bit further for him in this competition. Great excitement here amongst Desi after such a brilliant display. 28.40 was a really, really good clock. And his 8 win thus far out of 14 starts, which is such a brilliant strike rate. Ian, I dare say back in your days in the nightclubs you didn't have a strike rate that was as good as Agent Stanley has, 8 from 14.
Yeah, well, Joe, back then I didn't have tin wheels, so I had to do it the hard way. And needless to say, I had the look, so I was grand enough.
You came down last year with the Ledger with Oran Don, and he got to the final. Do you think this fella can go one better and go and win the Kirby this year after that performance?
Well, he's improving every run. That's his third time round it. He's came away tonight.
He did a 4:12 section to the bend. Like, that's serious early pace. Probably one of the best in the competition. Were you confident he could do?
Oh yes, yeah. And the dog. He can do everything right. I think he's a 2:02 or something in Shelbourne, and he's just improving all the time. I think he's won over half his races.
Was I right in saying, Desi, his first for the first round? That was his first time around Limerick.
Yeah, yes, he got in by 1 point. He did 29:11. The next one was 29:12 or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's absolutely brilliant. And Limerick is a tough track to run, so you know he got the experience in the first round, and the second round he was very impressive last week.
Yeah.
He showed improved another 2 lengths this week.
Yeah, had a few bob on him last week. I didn't back him tonight.
Well done, Dizzy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're on him at big odds at the start of the competition.
No. You have to win too many rounds and get there. I like to get there before I back them.
Well,
Yeah.
Des, best of luck. A fantastic run tonight. Well done to the team, and well done to all your
Thanks very
fantastic
much,
owners as well. And looking forward to seeing you back in the studio over the coming weeks with help of God.
Okay, thank you very much.
Safe trip back to Dublin tonight.
Thank you.
I can promise you, when I heard that Joe Sheehan was about to talk to Skippy Gilbert, I thought that interview would go on for about 3.5 weeks, and we're going to miss the rest of the night. Two men that can really talk. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, they have actually gone and prayed for our next contest, the second semi-final of the Open 525. We'll take a quick look at hour 3, and then we'll go to Barry, because I'm sure he'll tip something against me. One, Kishlán Amelia ran on very strongly to win last week in 28.73. She's coming forward, even though she's an August 18. She really has come forward in recent times, and she really powered up the home straight last week to come from off the pace to win in 28.74. As I said, really hitting form, well housed in the fence. 2 Duala Prince for Tommy O'Donovan. We're after seeing one time only going out in the Kirby, but around a remarkable race and defeat, and clearly his dog's in good form. Duala Prince is a son of Drubis Jet Ravenna, a brother to the Ledger winner Epic Hero. This fellow, good starter, good stayer. He has it all really. If he hits the lids, he'd be a big player. Trap 3 Highview wins for Jerry Merriman and Paddy Merriman, a good winner here 2 weeks ago in 28.64. In that line of form, he'd have a real chance. I'm sure Barry is thinking outside the box again. Barry, what's your thoughts in this 9th race?
I'm going to go with Trap 3 here, Ian. Highview wins for Jerry Merriman. Consistent sort, can flash from traps. Ran well last week against Cabra Blitz. We've just seen her win her last race. He done a 2:22 sectional last week, completely missed his break, and yet was still only beat 3 lengths. Reserve in here, Reserve M for Mother, Tinryland Boy. He definitely has a chance. He's well bred. He's a June 18, but he's only had 7 starts. He's won 3. He's 28.55 twice and 28.54 here last week off a 2:06 sectional. So he has to be taken seriously. Lodgefield Saga is off the back of a layoff. She had 1 run back here last week. Finished well down the field, but she previously has 28.60 around here, so she has to be taken seriously as well. But I'm going to go Trap 3, see can he get me out of trouble. And fair play to Desi doing it for the Dubs down in Limerick.
Yeah, Balbriggan's finest, Desi Gilbert, himself and his wife Mary, been in the game a long time, great characters. It's great to see them with a real challenger in the Kirby Memorial in the form of Agent Stanley. I dare say if he keeps hitting the lids like that, he'll be a big player in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, they are going behind boxes. Why not get the thoughts of Rob? We haven't heard from you in a while, Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Ian, and myself and Barry, I think, are going to gang up in you here because I'm in the Highview Wins camp. That win 2 weeks ago, as you said, on the same night where Cabra Blitz did that great run, and it was on a slow track. And if you can get a clear run early on, I think it could be a winner for County Offaly and for Patsy and Jerry Merriman. They are loading for our 9th race. We're getting close to the main action here on Talking Dogs TV, but we've got a really good second semi-final of the Greyhound Racing Ireland Open 525 coming up. Last couple going in. And a reminder, Reserve M, Tinryland Boy, runs in Trap 5. They're all in. And they're running for our 9th race. In 1, Kishlán Amelia. 2 is Duala Prince. 3 is Highview Wins. 4, Cabra Dawn. 5 is Tinryland Boy. And 6 is Lodgefield Saga. And away they go. One's well away. Kishlawn, Amelia 6 showing good early. Lodgefield Saga and 3 Highview wins. And it's these 3 into the opening bend. And it's 1 who leads off the second bend. And that's Kishlawn Amelia from 6. Lodgefield Saga. Douala Prince now has moved into a challenging position. And then we've got Highview wins. And into the third bend, Douala Prince takes over from Kishlawn Amelia. But we know Kishlawn Amelia stays. And they're locked together. And 6 Lodgefield Saga's not out of it. Off the final bend, Kishlawn Amelia and 2 Douala Prince. They're locked together. 3 flying on. Oh, it's tight. Possibly Douala Prince on the far side against Kishlawn Amelia. But it's an absolute cracker. One of the finishes of the night. And the winning time is 28.87.
Yeah, we looked at the inside trio in our 3 against the field, and that's the 3 that actually battled out the finish. As you see, Kishlawn Amelia making a flying start. Lodgefield Saga challenging on the outside, just couldn't get around Kishlawn Amelia. And in the meantime, 2 Douala Prince, not moving an inch off the fence, had run very well in the McCalmont Cup down at Kilkenny. That was a really good competition. It may have been an A1, but some real good dogs in it. And he showed great pace up the inside to challenge at the third bend, but won Kishlawn Amelia. We know one thing, she stays on stoutly. She swings off a little bit here, perhaps opens the door to Douala Prince. It's desperately tight on the line, folks. I know it looks like trap 2, but on the outside here, you have a half length in your favour, so we are definitely going to wait and to judge for that one. I've made that mistake on far too many occasions in the past, but a great contest between Douala Prince and Kishlawn Amelia. Highview wins, lost nothing in defeat, showed plenty of pace to finish on their heels. Now, Rob, we're going to take a look back at this contest. Again, Kishlawn Amelia, good start, but Douala Prince really putting it up to her.
Absolutely. Still no news of the photo. Yeah, you might be lucky if the phone rings while we have a look at this second replay. But as you said, Kishlawn Amelia was well away. Lodgefield Saga is obviously an inside seed, so despite being in 6, she has managed to go well. But at this stage, this is where Douala Prince takes off. And at the third bend, he did manage to get in front, but as we know, Kishlawn Amelia starts and stays. But it looked a 2-dog affair at this stage. And this is where maybe if Kishlawn Amelia has lost it, she's lost it here by moving off wide. But you've said it over and over again, the near side has a little bit of an advantage at Shelbourne. But if you can't call it, I certainly can't call it. And we haven't heard from the man on the other end of the phone. So could we have a dead heat?
Yeah, the longer it goes on, the more likely it is that it's a dead heat. But yeah, we'll wait for that phone call, Rob. Hopefully as soon as that phone call comes through, we'll be getting back onto you. But once again, a cracking contest between Kishlawn Amelia and Douala Prince. Meanwhile, it just gives us a little moment or two to reflect on the 4 quarterfinals of the Conan Annie Kirby Memorial. Meanwhile, as we speak, they are calling out the result here. Unfortunately, I didn't pick it up. I think she may have actually just said photo finish. The 4 heat winners down at Limerick, of course. Explosive Boy winning in fine style, 28-15. Ballymac Belvote powering home for Liam Dowling. That was Liam Dowling's first winner in the stake, if I'm not mistaken, which was, considering this is the third round and the strength that he had. Sing Along Sally was Heat 3 winner, and last of the heat winners, Agent Stanley for Skippy Gilbert. Meanwhile, Rob has the result hot off the presses. What is it, Rob?
Yeah, I was hoping for a little bit of history on Talking Dogs TV, but we haven't got the dead heat, and Kishlawn Amelia's won. Somehow she had her head down where it mattered, so Kishlawn Amelia has beaten Douala Prince, and Highview wins. And a nice winner from yourself, Ian, so fair play.
Yeah, absolutely, that's great. Meanwhile, we've been told that we just don't have a camera at the moment in Limerick. We are again trying to get that feed back up. Thankfully, we got all 4 heats of the Conan Annie Kirby Memorial, and what a 4 heats they were. Some really tremendous racing down there at Limerick. Meanwhile, we're not too long before the off of the 2 serious ones here at Shelbourne Park. We'll take a quick look forward to the Shelbourne Open 600. We might even join Barry and Rob in just a moment. This first heat, of course, Trap 6 Amazing Champ is unfortunately a non-runner. Great name that. Price's Jet and Beach Avenue with the big 2. But don't rule out the likes of Monbeg Zinzan and Razzle Dazzle Peaky on the inside. They're both really powerful trackers. They'll be finishing fast. And if there was any crowding on the outside, well, these 2 could certainly play a big part in proceedings, especially when you consider they go to the second winning line. Meanwhile, they are back here at Limerick, so we'll take a quick look at the runners for this. This is the opening heat of the Limerick and Clare Goba A3525. Ballyealin Bully 1 for Cathy Scanlon. 2 is Rattled the Net for Padraig Tobin and PJ Ryan. 3, Call Me Jane, John Ryan. In 4, Tallyho Hope, owned by the Walls of Tallyho Syndicate. In 5 is Port Ryan Champ, owned by Liam Carroll, son of Druppies Kane and out. Beg your pardon, Trap 6 is a non-runner in this contest down at Limerick, so it's just a 5-dog affair. He's one again of the Limerick and Clare Goba A3525. Briefly, do we have time to go to Joe before they go to boxes? We will. We'll go down to Joe for this opening heat because he's the man down there that has more knowledge of the graded racing scene than any man alive. Joe, what's your selections in this next race here at Limerick.
As you say, I'm well used to having graders. Before we go on, I must mention the J Clubs with all the Resmond has. Agent Stanley won for Skeeton, Ballysteen Ladies Gaelic Football, Mallox Marley for Mungret, and Stone Park Leo for Castletown Ballygran for the last heat, or the last quarter final of the Conan Kirby. Ballyellen Bully, of course, for the Scanlon family, a staunch GA family and a staunch Greyhound family as well. Two very good placed efforts thus far. Lynette, of course, for Padraig Tobin and PJ Ryan. Back in your playing days, Ian, I bet you in hurling and football you often rattled the net, so might be a dog that you like the name of. Call Me Jane, of course, for John Ryan, 1-2 on the bounce there not so long ago, so could be coming into good vein of form as well. Tally-Ho Hope, as we said already, the walls of Tally-Ho there near Rackeel, very, very shrewd greyhound people. This one has been running into a bit of congestion of late, but could be thereabouts. Has some good runs like 29.09 and 29.40 on its card. Has a touch of early as well, 4.24. So perhaps he could be in contention of leading. Port Drying Champ is a dog who stays very, very strongly as well. He came home at about 12.40 in one of his most recent outings, and if he comes home like that, he should be there at the business end of things. Over to Mal for the commentary.
This is a 5-dog race. 6 is vacant. From the inside, Ballyellen Bully, Rattle the Net, Call Me Jane, Tally-Ho Hope, Port Drying Champ. 3 will make it through to the next stage. Tally-Ho Hope blasts away from traps in the black jacket, has a comfortable advantage through the opening couple of turns. Ballyellen Bully is in second. 2 Rattle the Net is in third. Port Drying Champ is fourth in the outside, going okay. But forward a massive lead here going towards the third bend, and that's Tally-Ho Hope. Now onto the stand side of the stadium. Ballyellen Bullies in second, going wide with Port Drying Champ. As we go to the line, 4-3 will qualify Tally-Ho Hope and Call Me Jane for certainties. The time is 28.82.
Yeah, well, this would be a pretty easy one to do a report on. Trap 4, Tally-Ho Hope, fast away, always led. And that really does sum it up. This lady, a daughter of Tally-Ho Lee and Crofty's act, absolutely flash from Trap 4, clear into the opening bend. They're in a line in behind Trap 1, Ballyellen Bully shooting through into second spot. You see Trap 2 Rattle the Net then shooting to the inside to challenge off the second. But he finds traffic as he runs up the back of Trap 1, Ballyellen Bully. That allows 5 Port Drying Champ up the outside. Second and third clash at this point, and Trap 3 Call Me Jane comes through on the inside, but it's all about for Tally-Ho Hope. She's simply too good for them as he races up to the line, wins in fine style. Second is Trap 3 Call Me Jane. Congratulations to the Walls of Tally-Ho Syndicate, a good winner there in the form of Tally-Ho Hope. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, they'll be going to parade very shortly for the opening semi-final of the Shelbourne Open 600. We'll be getting the thoughts of our two esteemed colleagues here this evening, Barry Call and Robert Catterson, in a moment or two. Just looking out, they're not quite on parade just yet. This is a cracking contest to look forward to. I think we'll go to Barry because, Barry, I'm fascinated to learn your thoughts on this one. Obviously, great name that, picked up last week by Beach Avenue. Can he do it again, or will Price's Jet upset them, or perhaps you fancy one of the outsiders?
I might just still. Look, it's a fascinating race. Obviously, Beach Avenue was superb there last week, and people don't give him the credit he deserves for his early pace. If you turn the trapdoor around last week and put him in 1 and Great Name that in 5, he actually would have led her down the first bend. It was only just the last 20 yards into the first bend that Great Name that just kicked on. So people maybe think of Beach Avenue as more of a come from behind dog. I know he does come from behind, but he has a little bit of early pace. But tonight he might just be better off just slightly missing the kick and getting a run in after them. It shows a strength and depth in the race when you see Razzle Dazzle Peaky, 8 or 9 to 1 chance. He's a Consolation Derby winner 2020. He's 29.19 over here for 5.50. He's a 4.76 sectional up for the 5.75, which is the same run up as a 600. So he's a 9 to 1 chance. He finished really well last week. He could just go up well on the inside. Might just lead up to 1. So I'm going to go to Rob now on the parade. But look, you know me, I'm going to give 2 a chance. Razzle Dazzle Peaky.
Yeah, fascinating couple of semi-finals coming up, and greyhounds are just about to come on parade for our opening semi-final of the 2021 Shelbourne Open 600. And the first greyhound coming on parade for our 10th race is Monbeg Zinzan for Eamon Doyle, son of Skywalker Luke and Blastall Fizz. 6 from 27 starts, and he booked his place in this semi-final by staying on stoutly 7 nights ago. 2 is Razzle Dazzle Peaky for the Kildare Kilcolgan Syndicate, the Boyle Sports Irish Greyhound Derby Consolation final winner. A hugely consistent son of Makeshift. He's 9 from 50 starts, but he's been placed an awful lot more than that, and he's very much worth his place in this semi-final lineup. 3 is Great Name That for the Very Quiet Syndicate, trained by Liam Dowling. Just touched off by Beach Avenue here 7 nights ago. 9 from 24, got a big chance, this son of Drippy's Jet and Ballymac Bonnie. In 4, we got the first of the Hennessy duo, Priceless Jet for Brian and Kathleen Murphy. Paul Hennessy, the trainer of this. 6 from 16 about this son of Droopy's Jet. Made most last week in a scintillating 32-20. He was in trap 1 then. He's in 4 tonight. And in 5, we've got his kennel companion, the hugely exciting Beach Avenue. Pat Healy owns this, also trained by Paul Hennessy. Ran a blinder in the Easter Cup final, came from behind to beat Great Name That 7 nights ago, and if this lad starts, well, they all may be running for second place. And trap 6, Amazing Champ, is an absentee. So it's a mouth-watering semi-final coming up, the Shelbourne Open 600, and we can't wait a couple of minutes until we're ready.
Yes, indeed. Just a couple of minutes before the off of this opening semi-final, we'll take a quick look at my 3 against the field. I won't be surprising anyone by going for Great Name That. Obviously, Liam Dowling and the Very Quiet Syndicate have a real star in their hands in the form of this son of Drippy's Jet and Ballymac Bonnie. Caught last week, but he may come on for the run. He hasn't been overly raced in recent weeks, so if he did get to the front, he might just stay there tonight, but be interesting to see if he can indeed get to the front. Then we have the Paul Hennessy trained pair, Priceless Jet. This fellow, we've been waiting some time for this fellow to step up and trip. An inside seed certainly suited him last week, but 4 won't be a problem. If he hits the lids, and he didn't hit the lids last week, if he hits the lids, he's also capable of going up very quickly indeed, and it just wouldn't surprise me if he did lead them into the back straight and made every inch of the running thereafter. And his kennel companion, Beach Avenue, what a star this fellow's been. Ran up the Ladbrokes Easter Cup only last month, and an incredible run in defeat in that, and then last week proving that it was no fluke, picking up Great Name That. An incredible run by this son of Lawhill Blake and Catspell, and I'm sure the Healy family are watching on and screaming him from the rooftops. Monbeg Zinzan's in 1 and Razzle Dazzle Peaky in 2, and they are 2 very accomplished trackers. It's a great racing to look forward to. Don't forget Barking Buzz is there if you want to get involved in the action. There is a trio guarantee, I believe, but Rob, it's a great race to look forward to, this opening semi-final of the Shelbourne Open 600. What is your actual definitive choice? I'm still on the sidelines wondering myself, but I think I might end up having talked myself into Priceless Jet. But what about you?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of a giveaway last week when I put him up as the nap of the night. He was the one greyhound that I backed outright. He pleasantly surprised me last week, but there's no doubt about it. This is a different kettle of fish. You said he didn't really show great. Well, he showed good early, but he didn't really break from trap 1, which is never easy in the 5.75 traps. His 2 best runs over 5.25 have come from trap 4. He'll have to lead Beach Avenue, and he'll probably have to be maybe 3 lengths ahead off the second bend, because we know what Beach Avenue can do. It'll be fascinating if Beach Avenue moves in like he did last week, but Paul Hennessy's won this 6 times in the past. I think he'll have the 1-2. The heart says Priceless Jet to win, but the head might be the other way around.
Well, Rob going with a 1-2 for Paul Hennessy. Barry, you've already nailed your colours to the mast. Razzle Dazzle Peaky. Of the big 3 on the outside, which would you favour?
Well, if you can pause the race after 50 yards, Ian, I'd love to tell you then. But look, last week the sectional times, there was only a length between all 5 runners heading to the line the first time, so it really is on the break. Priceless Jet probably has the most early pace, natural early pace of all the runners, but who knows. I'm going to nail my colours to Razzle Dazzle Peaky and hope for the best, but it's a great race to savour.
Okay, loading underway for a 10th race, a mouth-watering semi-final coming up of the Shelbourne Open 600. Run for the first time back in 1964. Last couple going in. Last chance to get involved if you're on Barking Buzz this evening. They're all in. De Hare running for a 10th race, the opening semi-final of the Shelbourne Open 600, and 1 Monbeg Zinzan, 2 Razzle Dazzle Peaky, 3 Great Name That, 4 Priceless Jet, and 5 Beach Avenue. And away they go. Beach Avenue's well away, as is 2 Razzle Dazzle Peaky. Priceless Jet now trying to get into gear, and Great Name That on the inside, but it's Razzle Dazzle Peaky who's going to lead around the opening 2 bends. But look who he's got beside him, because Beach Avenue takes over, and there he goes. Beach Avenue by a couple of lengths from Razzle Dazzle Peaky. In behind, Priceless Jet is trying to move into 3rd, but it's a futile mission for all the ones in behind, because Beach Avenue leads off the final bend. The further he goes, the further he's going to win. And Beach Avenue books his place in the final in scintillating fashion. From in 2nd, Razzle Dazzle Peaky. Monbeg Zinzan might have held off Priceless Jet for 3rd, but it was a 1 greyhound affair, and he's done it in an unbelievable 32 seconds flat.
Yeah, what can be said about Beach Avenue? That was absolutely stunning. Razzle Dazzle Peaky running so well into the opening corner. Trap 4, Priceless Jet just edging inwards there. Took a slight bump. He was trying to force his way through in the 2nd spot, but meeting the sandwich at that point, himself and Great Name That doing each other no favours, and Monbeg Zinzad went 3rd. But out front, and Beach Avenue is just taken over and cruises on to win in superb fashion. 32 seconds, folks. Off the top of my head, I can only remember 1 greyhound, correcting, 1 greyhound ever going faster in victory. The night that Law Hill Duke did the clock, Ballydoyle Honey was just behind him. They both did sub 32, but that is the 3rd fastest run ever for the 600-yard trip here at Shelbourne Park. Beach Avenue, what a star this fellow is. We'll watch it one more time, because you just have to watch this dog in motion. He's absolutely fluent around the outside here. Trap 5, Beach Avenue, as Barry did allude to, he does have a bit more early speed than we're giving him credit for, and in fairness to him, he's just a length off the pace in that opening corner, rides a bit of a bump and just goes around Razzle Dazzle Peaky like a dog that's running on rails. Hits the front off the 2nd bend, and well, we've known in recent weeks that nothing is picking up this fellow when he hits the front. Razzle Dazzle Peaky in 2nd spot, running his heart out in 2nd spot. What a start he's been for Neelis O'Connell and the Kildare Kilgalgan syndicate. And back in 3rd, Monbeg Zinzan had just held Priceless Jet into the 3rd bend, and that was to prove crucial as he grabbed the 3rd qualifying spot. But no doubt about the winner, Beach Avenue, in sensational fashion. And hopefully, well, we should be having a bit of reaction in just a moment or two. But first, again, we will just react once again. 32 seconds, Beach Avenue. The 2nd fastest winning time ever for 600 yards here at Shelbourne Park. Only Law Hill Duke and Ballydoyle Honey in defeat have gone faster. A sensational run by a dog that's absolutely in sensational form. I believe Barry has someone that he wishes to take.
I'm joined by Kevin Hennessy. Kevin, that wasn't too bad there, no?
No, it wasn't, no. He can't, it's hard to see from the middle when they come away. And the way Cat was talking, I thought he was out there winging it, but watching the back in the video, he didn't actually come away that quickly. But once he got into a position, he's
I just said to Ian for the race that he's not really given the credit he's due. He does actually have a bit of early, and he probably would have went around in front last week if he hadn't been drawn on the inside.
Yeah, you're spot on. The short run to the bend catches him out. But when it's a long run to the bend, go back and look at him in Cork. He was leading likes of Witches Ethiopia, Sweep the Yard, those type of dogs. When it's a long run to the corner, they won't be too far in front of him, and when he straightens up at the 2nd bend, he's a fair tool.
Very good. It's a long out pull, and the dog's a 600-yard race around here. So what will this week entail? Will it be a handy week, or will it?
You can do whatever you want with him. He's as tough as the road. Like you couldn't work him hard enough. Like the harder you work him, the more he gets up and looks up at you as if to say, "Let's go again." Last week here, 10 minutes after the race, he'd have went again. So
very good. Listen, Kevin, congratulations.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck in the final. Cheers. Thanks.
Yeah, my old sparring partner Kevin Hennessy. Great to see him in the winners' enclosure with Beach Avenue. Congratulations to the Healy family watching at home. You have a real star on your hands. Don't forget, folks, you can get involved in Barking Buzz. Meanwhile, at Limerick, they have gone through the parade. We'll take a quick look at our 3 against the field. In this one, Callaway Danny, son of Skywalker Puma, for John Murphy. This fellow has, a mixed enough card. He's 2 wins from 12 starts. Nothing sensational. 29 seconds on his card, but he is very well housed on the fence. Next, we're going to take a look at Trap 4. Tyra Boris for David Carroll. He too has 2 wins on his card, including last time out when winning in 29-26. So 29-12 on his card. Again, this is an A3 contest. That might be good enough. And out in Trap 6 is Great Rank for Julie O'Connell. Lightly raced runner in the lineup. Just 3 starts in its card. A wide seed. It was Joe that gave me the 3 against the field. So I dare say these 3 might be amongst his thoughts.
definitely. Look, it's a pretty wide open contest. Callaway Denny showed enormous promise as a youngster and traded hands for €3,200 at the sales. Ran into a bit of congestion last time, as you say, well housed. And the Murphys, of course, wonderful supporters of Greyhound Racing, their insurance company down in Killarney. Ballyellen Bingo, of course, for the Scanlon family, who were the runner in the last race. At 19-17 and 29-26, victorious on 2 occasions in those clocks. Ran in a sprint last time, but probably has the capabilities of going a long way in this A3 5-2-5 contest. Speedy Bella, of course, for Padraig Fannin, has splits like 4.25 done down to the first bend, which should put Speedy Bella in contention of leading. And of course, this one is a sister to Urban Fire, who won the Dublin Cup A, won the prestigious competition in Dublin. Tyrap Boris, of course, runs for the Carls of Brewery, who of course had Tyrap Luke running in the Sean O'Connor Cup, finishing second, and will run next week. This fella is in hot contention after his, judging by his recent victory in 29-26, to probably give the Carls 2 runners in next week's action in Limerick. Frost Nixon, of course, for Joe Keane from Kilkee. Well, Ian, as you often said, there's no show like a Joe show, and this bitch is very well bred, of course, as half-sister to Cushy Jet, who broke the track record in Newbridge, doing 28-21 and 28-10 on his card as well. Out in Trap 5, definitely has a chance and has lots of pace. Great rank, of course, for young trainer Julie O'Connell. Was second actually behind my own bitch last a number of weeks ago, and the form of that race has worked out enormously well. It's a September 19 pup, so young and will be improving. It's all to play for here, very wide open. Over to you, Mel.
In boxes, we have Callaway Danny, Ballyellen Bingo, Speedy Bella, Tyrap Boris, Frost Nixon, Great Rank. In the second of the quarterfinals, 3 and 4 are best away. Tyrap Boris is one of those. Suddenly Great Rank going very well on the outside and leads down the back stretch. It's Great Rank in front. Tyrap Boris is in second. Ballyellen Bingo is in third. And they're in front of Speedy Bella in the white jacket. This is the second bend from the finish in the Limerick and Clare Goba A3. Trap 6, Great Rank in front of Tyrap Boris. 2 going okay, Ballyellen Bingo. Here comes the line, it's 6 to win, followed by 4. Great Rank has won it. The time is 28.99 for the trainer Julie O'Connell.
Yes, indeed. Well, we saw a good early pace performance in the previous heat of this, and well, this one was even better. Great Rank, you know, not the fastest in the stride, but as you can see, flying up into the corner. Joe was giving his own bitch a bit of a plug prior to the race, and it really is working out well, that form now, because this Great Rank is after slaughtering them into the corner, showing great early speed to cut off Trap 4, Tyrap Boris, and go on by 3 lengths down the back straight. 2, Ballyellen Bingo showing a bit of foot into the third bend, but couldn't get past 4, Tyrap Boris at that point, and out front Trap 6, Great Rank, winning so well for Julie O'Connell and DJ Ryan. They have a nice type here. This was her first career success, or his first career success, but I can promise you it won't be his last career success. Great Rank, he's only 65 pounds. He's a small enough dog, but Joe, I'm sure you're delighted with that one.
Yeah, the form of the race has worked out well. Actually, three of the other dogs that finished in behind that night have all won since, so the form of that bitch's race is working out quite well. Must give a special mention to young trainer Julie O'Connell, and we already mentioned Emma Buckley, of course, leading light for the young trainers. And there's an awful lot more that we can be very proud of. This was an exceptionally good performance, 28.99. Looks to have a very strong chance in this Limerick and Clare Goba A3 5-2-5 prestigious competition. Of course, Tyrap Boris for the Carls. They will now have 2 runners next week for sure, maybe even more, after Tyrap Luke qualified for next round of the Sean O'Connor Cup, and Tyrap Boris marches on into the next round of this competition. And 2, Ballyellen Bingo for the Scanlons of Ballingarry, ran with great credit. There's a lovely little hill up near me. I'm not living too far away from Ballingarry, called Knockfearna, and I was going up there recently and I met the Scanlons going up and down there with their greyhounds, and it was then I noticed why the Scanlons are winning so many races and running so well in Limerick. But 6, 4 and 2 march on to next week's Limerick and Clare Goba A3 5-2-5 competition.
Yeah, I bet you Joe wasn't running up and down that hill. We're moving on here at Shelbourne Park, because the next race is the second semi-final of the Shelbourne Open 600. Glad we kept it on Joe there so we could get his reaction to that one. The second semi-final of the Shelbourne Open 600 is coming up fast, and what a race it is to look forward to. We're going to see Billy's Diva, Ballymacwild and Ballydoyle Rossa meeting for the second week running, but throw in Hello Hammond, Pierno and Lacazette. It's going to be a hot one. Barry, give us your thoughts. I'm sure you have big run by Razzle Dazzle Peaky, by the way. What's your thoughts in this one?
Yeah, he was unlucky just to have Beach Avenue on his shoulder, but look, fantastic win by Beach Avenue, a great performance. This race, obviously, Billy's Diva 1-2 favourite earlier on today. The only thing you can see getting beat is the one box. I don't know for what reason, you just seem to see dogs missing her Dale trap 1 over the 575 trap, 600 yard trap, so hopefully it doesn't happen to her tonight. They both went up in 596 sections, herself and Pierno last week, but to the eye, Pierno's just seemed to look a little bit quicker going up to the bend, and he's an improving youngster, so he's got some good early pace. You got to mention Ballydoyle Rossa. It was her Shelbourne debut last week. She's only had the 4 races, and she turned into the back straight behind Ballymacwild, the Derby finalist, and Billy's Diva, and she picked one of them up. After 4 races, she's open to any amount of improvement, so she really is one to watch. And then you have Ballymacwild, of course, a Derby finalist from last year. Not quite at the top of his game, but he could come back to form for the Dowling Kennels. Just about to go on parade now, so I'll pass over to you, Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. Another mouth-watering semi-final at the Shelbourne Open 600 coming up, and the greyhounds are parading. First on parade, trap 1, the hot favourite Billy's Diva for Marie Kennedy and John Kennedy. She's won 7 from 17. She got to an Easter Cup final. She was magnificent here 7 nights ago when winning in 32-24. A reproduction makes her the one to beat. 2 is Hello Hammond for Jerry Meany and Miriam Meany, been to give Paul Hennessy a semi-final double. This lad's won 4 from 21, but he ran a blinder in defeat last week to book his semi-final spot. He could be a dark greyhound in this second semi-final. 3 is Ballymacwild for the Dowlings in Ballymacgalligat. He's won 11 from 31. He danced most dances in 2020. Got to an Irish Derby final. Will need to improve on last week, but this lad is capable of plenty of things. He's got a big chance. 4 is Pierno for Ger Hutton in Carla, trained by Tommy O'Donovan, one of last week's first round winners. He done that in 32.45 when making most. He's won 3 from 15. He'll need to start, but he's got a big chance. In 5, we have got Ballydoyle Rossa for P.O. Barry and Cashel. Has only had 4 starts, this daughter of Droopy Sydney, but caught the eye in huge fashion last week behind Billy's Diva. A huge amount of improvement could be on the card for Ballydoyle Rossa, and she's got a big chance. And in 6, we've got At Lacazette for Noel Nanine in Kilmallock, Limerick. A winner of 1 from 15 start. Ran really well behind Priceless Jet here 7 nights ago. The only middle seat, so the draw suits. And this son of Patsy Sabbath has got a qualifying chance. So that's it. It's race 11, the second semi-final of the Shelbourne Open 600. Just like the opening semi-final, the first 3 will book their place in next week's decider.
Yeah, the first we're going to take a look at in this second semi-final of the Open 600 is Billy's Diva. You saw her on parade, the tail going good. You can tell why she's so good, because she absolutely loves us. This daughter of Good News and JT Sahara, she really is a special performer. She won well in 32-24 last week. It was her first start over the trip. I wouldn't be too worried about trap 1. I think they are breaking a lot better from 1 than they were back in the olden days, and I think if she hits the lid, she'll be very hard to stop. I can see why she's a hot favourite. 3, Ballymacwild for Liam Dowling, of course. Robert alluded to it. He danced every dance last year. He was the Juvenile Classic winner. He was second in the Champions Stakes. He was a Derby finalist. He was the Ledger favourite, beaten in the final. He was thereabouts in every competition. We even forgot to mention he was in the Kingdom Derby final. He's a star. He'll come on for last week's run, have no doubt about that, and he's capable of a much better start. And out in 5, we have Ballydoyle Rossa. Well, this lady only has the 4 starts, but she showed unbelievable pace last week. She may need to go up a little bit faster in a race of this nature, but she can certainly play a big part in proceedings. We didn't mention Hello Hammond, a dog with an incredible engine. 4, Pierno can fly to a corner. Did fade a little bit up the home straight last week, and at Lacazette, he'll go up fast at the outside. Barry, great race to look forward to. Final thoughts. You've sort of nailed your colours to the mast, but do it one more time.
I might take them down again now listening to you. You say that she's going to break out trap 1. Look, it really is on the break. I hope she does break well out trap 1 and get a good run up. We all want to see a great final, but I do think the pitch in 5 has a big future. The draw might suit her. 4 might just edge in slightly towards who's left on the run up. So 5's not without a chance, but I just want to see a great race here.
Well, I think you're guaranteed to see a great race, because we've got, well, certainly 3 or 4 great greyhounds and 2 very, very talented greyhounds to throw in with them. What a race to look forward to. This would be fitting of the final itself. If you know, to be honest, any of these three added to the three that have gone through already, it's going to make an unbelievable final. Rob, just your last thoughts before they go to boxes.
Yeah, I think we all want Billy's Diva to win. If she could pop out and do a big run, what a matchup we'd have next week with Beach Avenue. And I think Hello Hammond could be the one to sneak into the final of the big prize. You remember Antrim Classic-Een? He was one of those hot dogs for Paul Hennessy. He just always seemed to come off the pace to qualify for big finals. And this Hello Hammond reminds me of him. But a mouth-watering semi-final, Ballymacwild, Ballydoyle Rossa. If either of them won, would we be surprised? Absolutely not. This would make an excellent final if it was the case next week. But they are loading, and the last couple are being loaded for another mouth-watering Shelbourne Open 600 semi-final. 2 females against 4 males, and once again 3 spots in next week's final up for grabs. They're all in. And the hair running for the second semi-final of the Shelbourne Open 600. And 1 is Billy's Diva, 2 is Hello Hammond, 3 Ballymacwild, 4 Pierno, 5 Ballydoyle Rossa, and 6 at Lacazette. And away they go, and 6 as well away at Lacazette. 4, Pierno gets a floor, and Billy's Diva, after a slow start, is getting into gear. But it's Pierno who's going to lead around the opening 2 turns, and does so. There's big traffic problems in behind, and it's 4 Pierno who leads by about 2 lengths from Billy's Diva. We'll see how good she is now. Then we've got a Lacazette and 3 Ballymacwild. Into the third bend, Billy's Diva trying to challenge, and she takes over. But look in behind, Ballymacwild is now moving into third. Off the final bend, Billy's Diva, Pierno, and Ballymacwild. It's Billy's Diva. Is she going to hold on just about from the staying on Ballymacwild and Pierno, who's run a blinder from the front? It was a mouth-watering finish in the end, but Billy's Diva has booked her place in the final with a win, and she's done it in 32.41.
Yeah, this was a contest that had a bit of everything. Pierno absolutely rocketed out of traps. I don't think Billy's Diva missed it. I think it was Pierno that absolutely rocketed out. 6 on the outside at Lacazette. There is traffic in behind, but I can tell you that traps 2 and 5 both got up and they raced on perfectly well. They are perfectly sound by my eye. But out front, you see Pierno is setting a strong gallop. But Billy's Diva, she had raced up into the inside in the opening corner. She was in a perfect pitch. She made her move. She hit the front. And in the end, she had to really dig in because Ballymacwild, after missing the kick himself, finding a little bit of traffic, came from 4th spot. He's flashed home. He's not beaten all that far. Back in 3rd spot, we had trap 4 Pierno. He's after running a blinder of a race. You know, it wasn't the race we were wanting it to be, but at the same time it was a thriller, and Billy's Diva did come through and won well from Ballymacwild and Pierno, and we now have our 6 finalists. Rob, I'm sure it was an exciting one to call. Thankfully though, traps 2 Hello Hammond and Ballydoyle Rossa are up and safe.
Yeah, that's the best news of the night. You see a rerun, I suppose. We were expecting Ballymacdiva to fly out, and she probably has come out well, but as you said, Pierno just got an absolute flyer like he did 7 nights ago. And I suppose when we're looking to next week already, we're probably thinking to ourselves, Pierno is the one who might lead. But it just showed you how good Billy's Diva is, because it was put up to her and she had to battle tonight, and she's taken it up at the third bend. Remember, she's fairly new to the 600, so they came at her. Ballymacwild has run a blinder in defeat, but Billy's Diva has won. We've got the matchup that we wanted. Billy's Diva, we know Beach Avenue is going to be in 6 because he's the only middle seed next week. What a final we've got to look forward to, and that's not forgetting the likes of Ballymacwild and Pierno and the other 2 that we've got next week. A mouth-watering final in place, and of course live on Talking Dogs TV.
Yeah, indeed. We've got a bit of everything in the final. We've got early speed, we've got back straight pace, we've got stamina, and we've got 6 very classy greyhounds. It's a contest really worth looking forward to. Of course, it is one of the most famous and most popular events on the calendar for quite some time, been won by some real stars through the years, and by all accounts it seems likely that another star will win the 2021 renewal. I believe we'll be having an interview in just a moment or two, and at that we're going to go down to Barry.
Yeah, thanks Ian. I'm joined here by Laura Kennedy. Laura, that was never in doubt, was it?
Yeah, I know, it's great now. So she has qualified into the final, so delighted again with her.
Good stuff. That's I make it, that's her 6th run around Shelbourne Park here, trap 1, 5 wins.
Yeah, she likes to trap 1, so she does, so we're happy when we got it, but so hopefully she'll be trapped again wherever. We'll take whatever we get in the final anyway, but yeah, she's delighted with her now tonight again, so yeah.
Just a quick word on Amazing Champ. He didn't make it, Stephen?
No, he got an injury, so he didn't. He's like, after he ran last week, kind of knew by looking at the race that something happened in the race, but yeah, so he'll probably be off for a good few weeks now, but he should be fine after it. So
Good stuff. Well, you have a star in Billy's Diva. Hope the week goes well, Laura, and congratulations and best of luck next week.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura.
Bye.
Yes, indeed, the Kennedy clan really do have some racing strength behind them at present. They've got some real stars, and Billy's Diva is top of that list. She really is something special. Of course, a daughter of their own Derby winner, Good News, and JT Sahara, who is also a top-class tracker in her day. Now, as you can see, they will be going to traps for race 11 at Limerick very shortly indeed. Just remind you that we are looking to get the draw for the final of the Shelbourne Open 600. When we do, we'll give it to you if we can. On so to this next race at Limerick. One Belligore's Rebel is the first we're going to take a quick look at. 19 starts. He's been in the frame in 14 of them. He's been running well, second in his last 2 starts, well housed in the fence, and certainly one that could play a big part in proceedings. We'll go for 4. How's Maggie next for Pat Barry, the daughter of Droopy's Jet, and ironically would win from 5, ran well in sprints recently, could get loose early if it shows that sprinting speed. And out in 6, Glenduff Marshall for Pat Conway and Owen Green, well housed as a wide seed. Joe, you have about 15 seconds.
Well, if I was to go by namings, I'd go for How's Maggie. Maggie May by Rod Stewart is probably my favourite song. And of course, well bred, the damn ironically bred Rocky Bay Foley, who won back-to-back Laurels. Belligore's Rebel, of course, for Stephen Clack, is down a grade from A2 down to A3. Has some very slick performances done around Limerick and should go thereabouts. Of course, Hidden Harmony for Kathleen Brown and Eamon Quinn has some very nice performances around Limerick as well. And what about Boy Hero? 86 starts, 24 wins, a fantastic strike rate. Was second in the wonderful competition that is the Tipperary Cup last year, and he's been running with great credit recently around Limerick. Expect him to be there or thereabouts as well. It's a wide open race and a very exciting race. Over to Mal for the commentary.
The penultimate race of the night at Limerick. Belligore's Rebel, Hidden Harmony, By Hero, How's Maggie, Yankee Matt, Glenduff Marshall. 5-5 is the trip. Shortening that is 3 By Hero, as is Hidden Harmony. Through the opening couple of turns, 3 leads from 2, followed by Belligore's Rebel in third. At the far stretch of the stadium, the white jacket of By Hero shows in front by 3 lengths on 2. Hidden Harmony, Belligore's Rebel gaining ground, now moves to second. As we move to the stand side at Limerick, 3, 1 and 2. By Hero leads, going towards the line and holds on the challenge of Belligore's Rebel. The winning time here is 28.93 for the training player, that is Pori Campion.
Yeah, Boy Hero has been a real star for Porrick Campion through the years. He's raced in far better company than this. He's won big races at numerous tracks in the Southern Circuit, and here at Shelbourne Park he's been a class act, and that's his 25th career success. And congratulations for Porrick Campion to win races with this dog, who is just gone 5 years of age, believe it or not. It's great to see Boy Hero winning again. Flashed out of boxes, made every inch of the running. That's what Boy Hero's all about. Won Belligore's Rebel, running a big race in defeat once again. He's been a bit of a bridesmaid in recent weeks, but he's certainly due a success, and well, who knows, it could come in the final of this competition. Back in third was 2 Hidden Harmony, but great to see Boy Hero. What a star he's been, Joe. I'm sure you're firmly in his fan club.
Yeah, what a wonderful performance. 28.93 at 5 years of age. As you say, 87 starts, 25 wins, and that's a phenomenal strike rate. Over €14,000 prize money won. What a dream dog to own as owners, trainers, breeders go. He's the perfect kind of dog you want to have in your kennel. And it just shows how genuine he is, that he can go 87 runs and still be winning at this age. Credit to his all connections, and of course Porrick Campion, a wonderful trainer as well. Fair play to him. Belligore's Rebel ran with great credit, ran on quite strongly in second place and marches on to the next round of this Limerick and Clare Oba A3 contest. And of course Hidden Harmony for Kathleen Brown and Eamon Quinn ran exceptionally well as well. But it's all about Boy Hero doing 28.93. Of course he was second in the Tipperary Cup last year. A real class act, and could very well bag this A3 contest.
Yes, indeed. Well, excuse me for having my phone in my hand, but hot off the presses, we've got the draw for the final of the Shelbourne Open 600. A great race to look forward to, and the all-important draw has resulted as follows. In 1, Razzle Dazzle Peaky. In 2, Billy's Diva. 3, Ballymac Wild. In 4, Pirno. 5, Monbeg Zinzan. And as the sole middle seed, well, it's no surprise to see Beach Avenue out in trap 6. So a bit of everything there, as we said. Early speed, middle pace, strength, a lot of class. Barry, I know you've just got the draw. What are your initial thoughts?
Initially, I was just drawn to see where Pirno was drawn because he probably has the most early pace, and he does just tend to end to his left. So it's probably not too bad of a draw. Beach Avenue obviously has a great draw in 6, but yeah, I think Connections will be pretty happy with where everyone is drawn. Razzle Dazzle Peaky likes the fence. Billy's Diva probably does come away better from 2. Ballymac Wild, he should be used to 3 around here. That's his 3rd week in a row. Pirno ran from 4 the last couple of weeks, should suit him. Monbeg Zinzan should have a bit of room, but Pirno moving left, and Beach Avenue, of course, perfectly drawn out in 6. So looks to be an intriguing final. Beach Avenue is obviously the one we have to beat, so let's hope the week goes well for all Connections and we have a great final here next Saturday night.
Yeah, it certainly does look like a cracking draw. I don't think anyone could be really too upset with the draw. As you say, Barry, you've gone through them quickly. Razzle Dazzle Peaky well housed in the fence. Billy's Diva in 2. She'll probably break that bit better from trap 2. She'll go up straight, we know that. Ballymac Wild, again, he's in trap 3. He's done so many of his big runs from trap 3. He didn't hit the lids tonight. He didn't hit the lids last week. Perhaps next week Ballymac Wild will hit the lids. Pirno, well, he certainly hit the lids tonight. He'll go up very fast and straight from trap 4. Monbeg Zinzan, it doesn't probably really matter where he's drawn because he'll probably sit off them early, look for the gaps to open up like they did tonight. And out in 6, Beach Avenue. And well, if he goes up like he did tonight, he should be on the outside of Pirno into the bend, and you know, he's just looking for a bit of luck off that second bend. It is a great final to really look forward to. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, they are just going on parade. They have gone through the parade. We'll take a quick look at the runners, and then we might just get the thoughts of Robert Catterson on the final of the Shelbourne 600. Okay, so the runners for this one Kimiko, and we are going to take a look at the 3 to follow. Kimiko for Larry O'Rourke and Graham Holland. He's been a dog in good form of late. He's stepping back up to the 550-yard trip, but the longer run to the corner certainly does suit him. He won in 29.99 here on March 27th. Next, we're going to take a look at his 4-hour Swans Rock for Joe Sweeney, Brendan Sweeney, trained by Jerry Merriman. Won well last time out. Kennel in good form. 6 times a winner from 19 starts. Never seems to run a bad race. He is stepping up to 550 yards. It'll be interesting to see how he handles it. In theory, the long run to the corner should probably suit. And the next we're going to take a look at is Massachusetts for Thomas Burke. This fellow has some eye-catching lines of form in his card, including a 28.15 trial here at Shelbourne Park last September. Never really repeated that in the race here at Shelbourne, but he has shown promise. He also has a 28.73 in Galway, 28.53 calculated, so he can't be dismissed. The 3 we didn't mention are also classy. Cornerhouse Lady, a fast starter, hard to pass when she's in front, a former Lee Strand winner. Grangeview Mags, a good winner over this trip on January 22nd when making all. She's returning after a bit of a layoff. And No All Nick, a dog with good early speed. I'm not sure he'll get the trip, but we'll soon find out. Remember, folks, you can get involved in Barking Buzz for the last race of the night here at Shelbourne Park. Rob, we're going to get your views on this finale in just a moment or two, but what about the trap draw for the Shelbourne Open 600? I'm not too sure anyone can be grumbling about it.
No, and as yourself and Barry alluded to, I think everyone's going to be happy with the draw. Billy's Diva is probably better suited than 2. Razzle Dazzle Peaky is obviously inside her, but I suppose the key is we knew Beach Avenue was going to be in 6, but the key is we've got 3 who could go up to the bend together in Razzle Dazzle Peaky, Billy's Diva and Pirno. And to me, that's just going to set it up lovely for Beach Avenue. All he needs to do is come out and keep his line next week, because if he's anyway close, it's a brilliant final. And obviously, if Billy's Diva comes out and leads him 2 or 3 lengths off the second bend, what a prospect that is. But I think because he's in 6 and there's plenty of early and potential traffic problems inside him, I just think Beach Avenue's camper are going to be licking their lips and they're going to be skipping here to Shelbourne next Saturday night.
I'm going to throw Ballymac Wild into that mix as well. I think he can go up faster than he has done over the last 2 weeks. And just don't be surprised if he was right there, banging contention on that opening corner. A lot will depend on where Pirno is. But as you can see, the Greyhounds for the finale here tonight at Shelbourne Park. It's a good little 550-yard contest. It's an AO 550 to look forward to. My selection is Trap 1 Kimiko, but I will be keeping an eye on Massachusetts. Rob, we didn't get your thoughts. You have about 10 seconds before they're all in boxes.
I'll keep it quick. I'll go for Kimiko. Draw should suit tonight. If he comes out, he should win. They are loading for our 12th race, our finale, on a spectacular night of racing here on Talking Dogs TV. The Talking Dogs Online TV Open 550. The last couple are going into traps for our finale. And remember, we're back here next week, live on Talking Dogs TV. We'll have the semi-finals of the Conn and Annie Kirby Memorial down in Limerick, and that mouth-watering final of the Shelbourne Open 600. But race 12, they're all in. And the hair running for our final race of the night, the Talking Dogs Open 550. And 1 Kamiko, 2 Cornerhouse Lady, 3 Grange View Mags, and 4 Arswan's Rock. 5 is No Wall Nick, and 6 is Massachusetts. And away they go, level enough. 3 showing good early. That's Grangeview Mag. Kamiko trying to get up the inside, and it's Grangeview Mags and Kamiko are going to lead. Kamiko, though, gets a run at her Elmroos a little bit wide, but is going to lead off the second bend. Cornerhouse Ladies turn second. Then we've got Grangeview Mags and our Swans Rock, but no excuses here for Kamiko, because he's got a 3-length gap from Cornerhouse Lady. Then it's a couple of lengths back to our Swans Rock in third. But Kamiko, he got his draw tonight, and he's managed to do it in pretty good fashion. 2 is trying to close the gap, Cornerhouse Lady, but Kamiko wins for Graham Holland, and he's done it in good fashion. Second was Cornerhouse Lady. It might have been Grangeview Mags who's finished third. We'll leave that to the judge, but Kamiko has rounded off the night in 29.80.
Yeah, there's so much to like about Kamiko. Just, he's a good, honest, solid greyhound. He didn't even get a start tonight. He had to show good early speed to get up the inside of trap 3, Grangeview Mags, on the opening corner, but forced his way through. And, you know, it's great to see Larry O'Rourke with a good winner, of course, sponsoring the Produce Stakes once again this year. And, well, fair play to him, because he is a great supporter of the sport, and it's fantastic to see him a winner here at Shelbourne Park. Kamiko, though, once he got to the front, he stretched them. Cornerhouse Lady slipped through into second spot. We know she's as game as a pebble, as they say. She stays on right to the line. She needs to hit the lids to win in a race like this. But trap 1, Kamiko winning. It's close enough for third between 3 and 4, Grangeview Mags and our Swans Rock. But Kamiko, a fine display. Rob, you're more than familiar with this stage with Kamiko. We've seen him plenty in the last 2 or 3 weeks. And again, another fine display by him. He may not win a derby, but I can promise you one thing. He's as honest as any greyhound in training.
And that's what you want, Ian. If we all had honest greyhounds, I tell you, we definitely win a lot more than we should. The draw was crucial for him tonight. We've talked about him the last couple of weeks, and maybe he's disappointed a little bit, but been in one tonight. I know he missed it, and I know he was off the second bend, but he looks a greyhound who just probably needs trap 1. And as you said, once he hit the front, he stretched him, and he's just one of those dogs. He's going to be running here at Shelbourne on most Saturday nights. He'll probably run in the better competitions, maybe not get to the latter stages, but he's just one of those greyhounds you'd love to own. And as you said, Larry O'Rourke's a very lucky man.
From Limerick, that's the final heat of the Limerick and Clare Goba 83525. We've seen 3 good winners in that, but we've seen 12 fantastic winners here at Shelbourne Park. Of course, it all kicked off with the Puppy Oaks a little bit earlier on the evening, and then we had a fantastic 850-yard contest won in fine style in our 2 semi-finals of the Shelbourne Open 600. But as we said, there's live racing to come. Joe, this finale, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, it's a very, very good race and a very, very good finale. I'm looking at trap 3, Ocean Ringo, owned and trained, of course, by Tom Fitzgerald of the Ocean Dogs. It's quite a good litter, and one of them actually changed hands for a large sum of money after winning impressively around Limerick, and it's great to see dogs making such good money out of Limerick recently. Liscanney Ruby, of course, for Emma O'Ryan and Michael O'Ryan, both in their late 80s, these experienced owners. They've had some fantastic greyhounds down the years, and it's wonderful to see them with such good greyhounds here. Liscanney Ruby won her last start in 29.17.
Fourth quarter final. Kevin Morrissey of Abbeyfield runs number 1, Cobbs Road. In the blue for Donald Casey of Lisnagry, his runner Vara Biddy. 3 will make it through to the semi-finals. One of those looking to make it through, Tom Fitzgerald's Ocean Ringo. Followed by the John Rainsford trained, Pat Donovan owned Jadithville Jim. Next up for the Lowe family of Charleville in North Cork, Same Over Puma. The last runner tonight at Limerick for Emma O'Ryan, locally owned and trained Liscanney Ruby.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at our 3 to follow. As I said to you earlier on, Joe was the one that picked these out, so you can blame him if they're wrong. But Ocean Ringo, a runner for Tom Fitzgerald, of course, chairman of the advisory committee down at Limerick, and, well, a decent man with a dog. This fellow was picked picked up in 28.85 in his second last start. He clocked 29.20 on that occasion, but obviously a dog with a bit of early speed. That 130 would see him go close. For Jadoville Jim, this fellow for John Rainsford and Pat Donovan. He's yet to win a race, but has shown a bit of promise. March 19 whelp. I see there's an awkward on his card on January 21. I'm not sure what that's about, but we may see in the race itself a son of Ballymac Bulger, and here comes Pa. Again, in March 19, so plenty of improvement still in him. He's just gone 2 years of age. And out in 6 list, Canny Ruby. You heard Joe mentioning the family involved. Well, it's great to see them with a runner here. 1 win from 8 starts. That victory came out last time out, winning in 29.17. Well housed as the sole wide seed. It is Heat 4 of the Limerick and Greyhound Goba A3. Don't forget, you can still get involved in Barking Buzz. This is the last chance of the evening here to join us on Talking Dogs TV with Barking Buzz. But hopefully you've had a very successful night punting. Hopefully you've had a very enjoyable night watching some top class racing from both Shelbourne Park and Limerick. We've done our best to bring you all the action through the evening. A bit of reaction also in terms of interviews through the night. And we're now going to finish off with this final race of the night, the Limerick and Goba A3 525. Joe, just the last few seconds before you hand over to Mal.
Ian, you forgot to say you also done your best to find me a woman. Hopefully we're successful in that quest. From top to bottom, Cobbs Road in Trap 1 for Kevin Morrissey of Abbeyfield out in West Limerick was so impressive in its 2 starts early days. 29.16 victorious in Shelbourne. Hasn't been firing of late, but definitely has more in the tank. Varabiddy for Donald Casey, of course, of Lisnagrey, one of the gentlemen of the game, and his breeding are always very strong and sure to be thereabouts as well. Tom Fitzgerald, of course, as you say, chairman of the Limerick Advisory Council, and a good man with a dog. They've been doing fantastic work lately, so great credit to them. Jedoville Jim, of course, for Pat Donovan of Castlemahon, trained by local trainer John Rainsford, a very talented and shrewd trainer. I expect him to be thereabouts as well. Same over Puma and Liscani Ruby, as we already mentioned, make up the running here. It's a very, very strong A3 contest, and I'm going to go for Ocean Ringo for Tom Fitzgerald. Over to Mal for the commentary.
Ready to go in the last of the quarterfinals in the Goba. It's Cobbs Road, Barabidi, Ocean Ringo, Jedoville Jim, same over Puma, Liscani Ruby. From Tropsford, level break, 3 possibly Ocean Bingo in the white, 1 Cobbs Road on the inside, 3, 1 and 2 down the far stretch, and Ocean Ringo leads by 4 lengths on Cobbs Road. Close for third between traps 2 and 4. Moving to the third bend, and Ocean Ringo is in front still from Cobbs Road, about to hit the final bend. Little between them, 1 on the inside, 3 on the stand side, going towards the line, 3, 1 and 4. Ocean Ringo, Cobbs Road, Jedoville Jim. The time is 29.09.
Well, early speed has been the key in these opening round heats of the Limerick and Clare Goba, and on this occasion it was once again Ocean Ringo that showed the best early dash, got to the corner and cleared the corner, forcing his rival slightly to check in behind, and all of a sudden Ocean Ringo opens up a 3-4 length lead down the back straight for Tom Fitz, and of course chairman of the Limerick Advisory Committee, he'd be delighted with his winner here tonight. Even checked up into the third bend there, but it didn't seem to halt his momentum. At one point Cobbs Road perhaps looked like he might have got to the leader, but trap 3 Ocean Ringo just kept on digging out front and probably held on by, I suppose, ahead in the finish from 1 Cobbs Road and back in third Jadoville Jim. A good way to finish off proceeding with Tom Fitzgerald having a good winner. But we're going to head back to Joe just for his thoughts on the 4 heats of the Kirby, and of course maybe he might even mention Romeo Magico winning so well in the Sean O'Connor Cup.
Yeah, brilliant performance here by Ocean Ringo. I suppose not to blow myself up too much, but I started with a winner and finished with a winner, so it was good to start and finish well. Very consistent with his splits, 4.25 in one of his most recent outings and 4.27 to the first spin today. It was a very, very good performance, staying on gamely all the way to the line in 29.09 and sure to be one of the leading fancies for this A3 competition. Cobbs Road for Kevin Morrissey really rediscovered the sparkle he showed in his first 2 starts, and that 29-16 victory in Shelburne. He stayed on extremely well all the way to the line, finishing second, and had there been another 50 yards, it would have been very, very, very close. And Jadeville Gym, of course, or Pat Donovan, a local trainer, John Rainsford, was so impressive staying on as well. He just qualified back only a week or two ago, so you can be sure there's an awful lot more to come from Jadeville Gym for Pat Donovan and John Rainsford here in our finale here in Limerick. And I suppose to go through the Kirby heats, I guess, sing along Sally, of course. She was so impressive. She just does everything right, and as Emma Buckley said a while ago, she's just so flawless. Starts, stays, just does everything perfect. You know, I had a few quid in her at the start of the competition before the Kirby began, and I'm not too disappointed. I had my money on her because she's been so impressive. Ballymac Bellevolt, of course, well, you know, Liam Dowling, throughout these big competitions, he can really get his greyhounds to keep improving and improving, and was so impressive as well. There's an awful lot to look forward to next week for the semi-finals. The draws are going to be live on Limerick Greyhound Stadium Facebook page. I'm going to run upstairs shortly myself to see him. Cannot wait to see these semi-finals. And of course, with the Sean O'Connor Cup, such brilliant action. Romeo Magico, what a wonderful clock he did as well. So an awful lot to look forward to in next week's semi-finals and Sean O'Connor Cup as well, and the Conan and Kirby Memorial.
Yeah, thanks very much, Joe. And from all of us, next week we're going to staple you to the floor, but a great job, an absolutely fantastic job once again from the Bell Joe Sheehan down there. And if he hasn't found a woman by the end of this Kirby, well, he may give it up. Meanwhile, here at Shelburne Park, Barry, we're going to talk to you briefly because it was a great night's racing, lots to reflect on, great puppy oaks, great staying contest, and of course, our two semi-finals of the Shelburne 600. What were your highlights?
My highlight is yet to come, Ian. It's about half an hour away from here now. When I get home, I get a bit of heat into me because I'm absolutely freezing over here. But from a racing perspective, obviously it was Beach Avenue. He was absolutely magnificent, 32 seconds. He's a great draw in the final. As Robert alluded to earlier on, if he can hold his line straight next week, he'll have a massive chance. The two bitches earlier on, Magical Poppy and Burgess Cassie, they are fabulous, 28.50 and 28.33. And Sporting Pat tonight took her career earnings to over €10,000, so it was fabulous to see her winning. Just before I wrap up here, Ian, a quick note on a couple of trials tonight people might be interested in. Ballymac Fairone clocked 28.34 here before racing this evening. JT Wexford was beaten a length in 28.96, and last night Brody's Magic clocked 18.59 for a sprint. So that's it from me. Thanks very much. Back to you in the studio, Ian.
Great work, Barry. Absolutely fantastic all night. Next week we'll get you a heater. We'll get you a big sheepskin coat. One man that does have a heater is Robert Catterson. I can testify to that because, well, I would normally call it my commentary box, but for the last 3 Saturday nights, Rob has just been absolutely lapping it up in there. Look at him, open shirts. He's toasty, positively toasty. Rob, what made you toasty in Shelburne Park tonight?
I think watching 24 races between Shelburne and Limerick has definitely kept us warm the last few weeks. It was brilliant from start to finish. The action down in Limerick was top notch. Cabra Blitz 3 in a row. If she keeps winning, I tell you, it'll make our job a lot easier. But as Barry said, Beach Avenue, if things were back to normal, he's the greyhound next Saturday. People would be skipping to come here at Shelburne to watch. At the moment, he's the dog of Irish greyhound racing. He's the one everyone's talking about, and we've got the match up with Billy's Diva. It's going to be a great final. It's going to be live on Talking Dogs TV. And I've just got great news because I've heard the golf in Augusta has been suspended for about an hour or so. So by the time I get home, that might be restarting. Maybe the officials in Augusta are tuning in and trying to give us what we want.
Good man, Rob. I hope your golfers are going well for you. It's been a great night's racing. Once again, I'd like to thank Joe down at Limerick, to Barry and Rob here at Shelburne Park. A fantastic job all round. That's been our 3rd episode of Talking Dogs TV, but don't forget, we'll be back 7 days from now. You can buy your passes very shortly, I suppose, in a couple of days' time. Some of you may wait till the last closing times, but I can promise you it'll be well worth it because we'll have the semi-finals of the Conan Andy Kirby Memorial. We'll have the final of the Shelburne Open 600. Of course, before then, we'll have loads of content. I'll be talking dogs on a Monday. We'll be looking back at the Conan Andy Kirby Memorial and the Shelburne Open 600. Barry Drake will have his podcast on Thursday, and of course tomorrow morning you can watch the Bell Rory do On Track with Talking Dogs. So loads to look forward to, and of course don't forget, folks, Facebook Live in 15 minutes time. You'll be able to watch the draw for the semi-finals of the Con and Annie Kirby Memorial. But that's it from us here at Shelburne Park. It's been a truly remarkable night's racing, and we look forward to another one in 7 days from now. Good luck and God bless.